holy shit.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
It's not that they edit, like they do help with jokes, they do write jokes, but they mostly just steer you to the format that they want, which is the television format.
You know, I saw two monologues of one comedian. She's a girl comedian. You all know her as
She's a character.
She is, yeah, totally. And I watched two monologues of hers, which she recorded herself. And then she got into one of that project, and she recorded 3 monologues. And you can see that those 3, well, they are better. No, you see that those jokes were like baked to perfection.
Yes,
So
and that's what they do. You know, like if you notice, for example, they would remove fat from this. They make it that you reach your jokes faster. You reach your punchline, let's say. Yeah, you reach your punchline faster. But what's something I noticed when they write, like with me, with other
you went to one
to
of
the
the
VK Fest.
Oh.
Yeah, like I was sat with the editors, and one thing, for example, they told me. One thing they told me is like there are jokes I couldn't say, which annoyed me a lot.
You want to say only jokes about pedophilia, right?
Well, pedophilia and dictators, you know, at the same time, yeah.
Dictators.
PPs.
Yeah,
PPs.
what we call them.
So this is what because I will have more freedom for me, I will be more comfortable on stage. They were like removing these parts. Other parts they were telling me this takes too long to reach the point. This is too much information. This, let's say, they helped. At the same time, I found like it's a bit restricting because I understood they were trying just to steer me to a certain format.
Yeah.
That's what I heard from other Russian comedians, similar to what Ignat said, is the writers actually sometimes write for you if you're like, because you're a comedian, yeah? You are an experienced writer yourself, but if they know that you're not good and they just got you for a backstory, I know they write for them a lot.
I guess
this is what I heard.
Okay.
They don't just write; they write with you.
Yes.
But they really work with you.
And,
For 2, 3, 4 hours, you sit with them. You just dig it.
And one thing I liked about them is they tell the comedian, they tell them, go test it, record it, and send me the recording. You know, they hear how they delivered it and all of this. They like, you know, they tell them about the delivery, everything. This I really liked. My friend Ivan Yanis, when he performed, when he did the first открытый микрофон,
TNT, open mic.
And he was like doing some monologues for TNT. We were talking about how comedians, some like comedians would say, "Oh, I don't want to get on TNT because they are authors." I want to ask you guys something, which he told me, and he told me, just go to the authors, learn how to write a joke, then like get out for that experience of how to write a joke. Do you agree? Do you disagree?
Sure, I totally agree. Moreover, I think that disliking those kind of projects and saying that it's not for me, I don't need that, and not going there is like a little bit kind of a small dick energy. Because you can learn anyways. All of this is experience. Performing to a whole audience of comedians is experience. Performing in the club where nobody wants to hear is experience. It all helps you to grow better.
Yeah. I agree with the thing, but I think you shouldn't aim for them to write your material, but you should see how they go for writing material for TV.
Sure. Yeah. It all helps you. We all will find our own way. Maybe our way will lead us away from the community. That's okay. Yeah. But it's nice. It was nice for me to go there and to speak to those people. Like, okay, you are that people. Okay. Well, now I'm gonna perform in little bars again.
But because you were talking about how for the TV projects they always pick characters or people who have
I think
cool
so. Yeah.
So have you ever felt robbed that you weren't picked?
No, I don't. Personally, I don't because am now reading the book of Steve Nord, you know that guy, right? Well,
what's the book?
I don't remember the name, but it's about finding your comedy character. And I'm reading it for like I guess 5 months already, so I'm not quite reading it.
Trying to find your comedic character.
Yeah, I'm not really trying. That's the problem. Because I read like 4 chapters of the book, and from that I understood that I don't understand who I am in stand-up comedy. I didn't find my character. You had I liked the joke. Actually, it was the first joke about me I liked from the from other comedians, that I look like a pedophile who, after he's finished with a little body, asked him, "Did you come?" That's the first good one, actually. And maybe that will lead me to understand this.
Oh, okay. So it will lead me to be on a watch list.
I think I was looking up white vans for sale.
Actually, I want to buy a van. A part of that, because I guess van is a really useful car. Well, I'm a producer, and sometimes I have to like write a lot of gear for filming myself. And I had a little convertible. It was playing Tetris always. And I thought maybe I should buy a van.
Oh, everything disappeared. You know, it disappeared. I wanted to ask you. Like, I have 2 main questions I want to ask because I watched. Sorry, not the full 10 minutes that you put out on YouTube. Like the first 5 minutes. I want to ask you. Why did you decide to record at that time?
I have sometimes I have a feeling. Not sometimes. Well, I performed this year, and I guess starting last autumn, I performed at least 5 times a week. And at some point, I started to feel that my jokes, that I'm tired of them.
Mm-hmm.
And it happens frequently. I get tired of my jokes. And I see that when I get tired of them, maybe because I'm tired and I don't want to perform them, audience also stops laughing at the point I need it. And with that monologue, I felt that I'm on the verge of getting tired of that material. So I saw an announcement of the shooting, and I decided that it's time to shoot it, because afterwards I won't be able to perform it as I want. And I didn't perform. I performed parts of that material on BK Fest and also other projects, but I don't perform it now on Open Mic. And I don't. I watched this video like 3 times yesterday because I had to look through all the subtitles, all the stuff, and I didn't even smile once. I just. I don't. It's crazy. I can't imagine. Well, I imagine that someone will laugh watching that, but I don't personally feel the laugh energy in that monologue anymore. And I felt that in February when I was filming, in this like these 10 minutes straight, I performed 2 or 3 times after that, and then I started putting it apart. And that's the reason. I feel that it's time to let it go. It's time to film it and to just let it go.
You know what I noticed about it? But for me is when I saw it, I was like, but for me, I was like, but there was like, what if? Like I feel that you maybe this is my point of view. You didn't work on it as hard. Or maybe,
Sure. Yeah. Afterwards, I wrote some new jokes in that monologue, and I like them, but it was already out. And I don't actually. Well, it's funny that I don't actually like this monologue now.
Yeah.
But I thought that well, okay, I have it filmed. I have to put something out on the internet. I guess that if you're a stand-up comedian right now, you should not only perform, you should do something online. I think that's actually
to promote yourself.
Yeah. I think that's inevitable. It's really hard. Well, it's always. Ivan Usovich is mentioned when they speak about that you don't need to do anything online, because he had previous Instagram post like 5 years before, and then he puts out his new concert and he makes one post about it. Like, guys, I have it, and that's all.
Yes.
That's all his online presence. And I think that it's not correct to mention Ignat Stoic because he won a couple of comedy projects before that, so he had publicity.
He had already the publicity.
Yeah. Well, if you don't have it, I guess I don't really like it. I would love to delete my Instagram, but I have to post announcement of WTF evenings for me to
I follow you on Telegram, and I have to say, like, I really like when you post, hey, I'll be at 8, I'll be here, at 9, I'll be here, at 12, I'll be sleeping. Fuck off.
That's just right.
This is something I really like, is like when you, and I have a question. When you post about you performing in different places, what's the goal of that? Is it for you, or is it for your audience?
Yeah, there are several goals. First one is that actually, I'm kind of a busy guy, and sometimes my old friends really come to see me on open mics, and they don't write me that I'll be there. They just come, and it's a surprise. It's nice to have a chit chat because we will never catch each other without that. And we're all 33 years old. Come on, I don't go hey, let's walk. No, we don't. So it's nice to see old friends sometimes. Second of all, I read a book this winter. It's called "You Should Never Perform in Shorts on Stage."
Oh, I think you're reading this book.
Yeah, I like the book. However, I performed in shorts several times this summer. Also on your because I can't fight the temptation to ride bicycle because the weather is just awesome. So I don't want to.
You don't want to be in tights, or everybody will be like, fixated.
I remember one time I opened for a big Russian comedian in here. Well, I don't know how he is. Okay, he's a bit, and it was the middle of the summer, and I come in shorts, and the comedian goes, "Are you gonna be opening for me in these shorts?" And I text Abed that day, like, "Wait, you can't perform in shorts in stand-up?" And he was shitting on me for the next week. But yeah.
So did you open for him?
I opened for him in shorts, yeah.
But different shorts. It changed.
Yeah.
After the comedian had his way with him,
We'll know this one, the yellow. Yes, so I guess it's the right thing not to perform in shorts, but as I like to say, the price of losing on open mics is so low that you can let yourself a little loose.
The thing was just, I had an English teacher who always told me this. He always said, rules are meant to be broken.
100%. And this is why I like stand-up.
And here's the thing, there's a comedian, maybe not, David Cross, I believe.
Yeah,
he's a shorter comedian, really, he looks like the Hobbit.
Okay.
And he always...
They call this.
The Hobbit, yeah. Well, it actually looks like the dwarf from Snow White. And he always performs in shorts, and I'm like, see, it's working out for him, but probably because...
Because that's the character.
Exactly, it's the character,
yeah. There's also something which you said about, like, finding who you are on stage. I remember, like, my first 2-3 years, I was like, yeah, this is who I am. Then I listened to one of my favorite comedians, Christopher Titus, and he was like, you need 10 years to find out who you are on stage. And this is what I understood. It's like...
It takes time.
Yeah, it takes time, and his idea was, do everything, test everything.
Yeah.
Let's say from performing in shorts to not in shorts to whatever.
Without it.
Yeah, without the machine. Like his shtick would be to count his shirt. He said, like, this is the thing that made people look at me. So he kept on doing it.
Yeah.
There's another comedian. I cannot remember. British comedian. He's one-liners, and he has like a
Carr. Stephen Carr. Jimmy Carr.
No, not Jimmy. Well, not Jimmy Carr. Like he does something with his hair. He always wears tropical shirts, and I'll find his name a little bit. What he did is he has like these absurd one-liners, and he said that he never ever got a laugh when he did them like in suit and everything, until one day he had to get on stage and he didn't have time to like comb his hair, fix everything. So he gets on stage and they start laughing. And he does that's the point we were like, wait, so he does it and one of his absurd jokes that nobody laughed at. This time he does it and they laughed. He continues the absurdity and they laughed. You know?
You know, it actually makes me kind of sad that I think that once you find your character, you can't
You get
try
that from
new. Yeah, as you said, stand-up is trying new, always trying new. And I'm looking at older and experienced and successful comedians, and I feel that year to year they I have some.
Yes, you have your something too.
Yep. They are just being the same. And I understand that as a comedian myself, I understand that what they are on stage is not what they are in real life. And I know that there's more of them. But they can't put that on stage. They need to be funneled in that character. And that kind of makes me sad and kind of makes me happy that I didn't find myself yet.
Yeah.
Do you think you need a character to become a good comedian?
Abed needs.
No, I'm saying
A successful one.
I think yes, but not in the way. I had an interview with he's a comedian and he's a blogger. His name is Ignat, if you know that one. He films really weird for me. He watches a lot of Russian stand-up. And he films little like 5 to 7 minutes. He talks about these specials, and it's always it's crazy because he always argues about things that I wouldn't even think of. But it's interesting. It's a different perspective from me, and it's a lot of in the comments of that man, I wouldn't even think of that. Well, he's kind of famous a little bit. And here we were talking about old Russian TV comedy shows, and also we were talking about Comedy Club. And he said that if you watch old episodes of Comedy Club, you see that those guys, they don't really understand what they're doing. And I watched like 2 or 3 days ago the first ever episode of Comedy Club. It's kind of bad.
Comedy Club is the one where
Sketch.
Sketch. No, not sketch. Perform on stage. It's not sketches. It's like between the old school and the new school. They were like because some of them became stand-up comedians, like he's Lobin. He started it as a comedy club, you know, in the USA, you know. So and Ignat said about one of them, about Gary Varlamov, that through the years he understood himself so good that now he can be funny always, whatever he does. And he does a lot. He does several shows. Yes, like a lot of movies, but understanding of himself as a comedy character helped him be always funny. And I think that has something in it. You don't have to be a character, meaning you don't have to comb your hair and put on tropical shirts. But if you understand what is funny in you, then you can always be funny.
Because that's why I asked the question: do you need to find the character? Because my idea was like, can you just be yourself on stage and just be funny like that? But
Well, as Mark Norman said, is who you are. Sorry.
Intermediate.
Yeah, that's fine. Who you are on stage, it's you dialed up to 1,000.
No.
Everything is fine.
Everything is
Don't
fine.
worry about it.
it's gonna be cut and
Yeah. So
It's you, but it's part of you.
and exaggerated.
No,
Yes.
everything is fine.
Everything's
Everything's
fine.
fine.
Like it's an exaggeration.
But it's you,
This
but it's
part?
part of you.
And
Dialed
exaggerated.
to
Yes.
1,000%.
You know? Like,
you know, and
it's
like
an exaggeration.
that's something. And one other thing that we were just talking about a little bit before is you guys said well like this person is a character
You
on
know,
stage.
and like
Now here comes
that's something.
Ralph
And
Fiennes.
one
This
other
is
thing
something
that we were just talking about
that myself as
before
an
is
Arab, Omar as an
you
Arab,
guys
we
said
kind
well,
of
like, this person
try
is a
to
character.
move away from.
Now here comes
not move away
Ralph
from-
Fiennes. This is something
It's a
that
thin line.
myself
Between
as an
people
Arab,
seeing you
Omar
as
as
an
an
Arab
Arab,
on
we
stage,
kind of
as an
try
Arab
to
comedian or as a
move
comedian.
away from. Not move away, like it's a thin line between people seeing you as an Arab on
this is
stage, as an Arab comedian, or as just a comedian.
I don't think it's
the
a thin
jokes
line.
that
I think it's
what
a
like separates
huge,
you know, like
huge
what
line.
he said is,
It's
when
getting
he was
out of
performing,
stereotype.
Ralph Fiennes,
I think it's
like
the
so-
jokes that
the
what
fat
is
comedian.
what like
When he was doing
like
jokes,
what he
started
said is
doing fat
when
jokes.
he was performing the Ralph Fiennes, like like
And
when
one,
you
why?
saw
Because one comedian
you're a
asked
fat
him,
comedian.
are you a fat
When he was
comedian
doing
or a
jokes,
comedian
when
who
he started,
has
he was
to
doing fat jokes.
Hey, this is a
And
thing.
then people
I
away
was
from
talking to
that.
Abed about
And
this.
one,
Like,
the
we
why,
know
because
a
one
couple of
comedian asked,
people
are you
who
a fat
stick
comedian
to
or
the
are a
idea
comedian
of
who
like,
has...
okay, I'm this guy.
Hey,
We're
this
gonna
is
really
the
talk,
thing
joke
I
about
was
this
talking
guy,
about
which is
it,
something
but
I
there's
really
like we
hate.
know a
Because
couple
it
of
gets
people
boring after a
who
while.
stick to the
Because then
idea of
all
like,
you,
okay,
you
I'm
are
this
like,
guy, I'm
for
gonna
once,
only talk
like, there's
about this
this
guy, which
Chinese
is something
comedian I
hate.
really liked. I
It
forgot
gets
his
boring
name.
after a while.
Jimmy Young
Like,
Song or
center
whatever,
all
maybe.
you are like for once.
Really,
There's
and his
this
first
Chinese
special, he
comedian
talked about
I
being
really
Chinese.
like, not his name.
And on his
Jimmy
second
Young
special,
Song or
he
whatever,
continued
maybe.
talking about being Chinese, and I'm like,
Really,
you went to
and his
this
first
special
special
full
he
of
talked
Chinese
about being
material. Why
Chinese.
can't you just?
And on his second special, continue talking about being Chinese, and I'm like, why did this special full of Chinese material? Why can't you just...
You know, I think the answer is in character development. Like in the well, there are several my favorite American comedians, including Louis C.K. And I watched all these specials, and watching it makes well, it's kind of a serial. Because from special to special, you see how I don't know, not he, Louis C.K. as a stand-up comedian, he changes. He was a father of two little girls, and he is a father of teenagers. He has a little different problems, he has a little bit different perspective, but it's still him. You love him, but he's different. You know, as I say in the screenwriters who write serial, they say that if you make a second season, you should make everything the same, but totally different. That's the key. And I guess the key is that you don't stay the same, but you have the core of you being you, but you move on. So you have an arc of a character which you have to go through and change. And watching great stand-up comedians is like watching a serial which you watch like for years, because 1 year special, basically. And you know that he will change, he will bring something new, but he's a guy you like. It's like having a friend. I have friends who I know from school, and they change. A lot of time passes, and our perspective differs. But you still love the guy. But he's a little bit different from what he was 7 years ago, 14 years ago. And I guess that's the key. The key is actually working and writing and searching. You find your character, but you dig through the character. You don't. Well, if you will only have jokes that you, okay, I'm an Arab, okay, so I have a bomb on me. Well, that will work in a while.
It's not on an airplane.
For some audience, it will work. They're rough people. Well, the second thing why I post that announcement is from the book, where he says that you have to make it look like you're a stand-up comedian. You should have your website. Well, I don't think I need a website now. I have my social media accounts. That you should show people that you do that thing. You are a stand-up comedian. So when I have, and he said, even if you have like 5-7 minutes set this week, you write that I will be there. Doesn't matter that you have 5-7 minutes. I will be there. I am performing. I'm a stand-up comedian. It's about making it look like you're a stand-up comedian. And he said that is useful. And I really like the book. I agree with almost everything that he said. And I thought maybe that's also a clever idea. So I will take it from you.
You
And
stop liking how you
one thing
perform
you
this
said
material.
about,
Like it's delivery on stage. You yourself don't feel that you want to deliver this material.
You stop liking how you perform this material. Like, it's delivered on stage, you yourself don't feel that you want to deliver this material.
And I feel also it's a crazy, and I guess it's a wrong feeling for a stand-up comedian. And I guess that is I feel it because I'm still a rookie. That I feel a little shy to perform the same beats over and over again. It's like
very
feeling
interesting.
that
Like
you
yesterday,
tell the same
I
joke
was
to your
talking
friends.
someone
Yeah.
And they're like,
I
come
told
on,
them,
man.
like for me,
We know that joke. Stop it.
It's very interesting. Yesterday, I was talking to someone and I told them,
please don't mess up.
for
Please
me,
don't mess up.
Uh-huh.
Sorry for you're gonna have a lot of editing.
Yeah.
Well, no, it's fine. So, fucking shit. So, one thing is that it's very interesting for me this thought
Well, no,
of
it's fine.
audience, like
So,
for me, and I also like.
So
I don't care.
one
Like,
thing is
I love
like
when the audience laughs.
it's very interesting for me
But
this
I
this
want to
thought
say what I
of
want
the
to say.
audience like for me, and I also like,
It's you know what's
I don't
funny
care.
is
Like I love when the
trying to
audience
test
laugh.
these
When I
2
say,
minutes.
like,
If
I want to say
care
what I want to say.
but if I
It's
pander
a
to
big
them
difference.
in English comedy,
You know what's the
like,
idea?
performance for
I am
English
trying to
and
test
for
these
quite
2
some time,
minutes.
yeah?
If I
And
care
it's English comedy.
about, if I pander to them in
A
English
lot of
comedy,
performance they pander to
like
the
I've been performing
audience.
for English
Oh, the audience like
for quite some time. Yeah, I noticed the English comedy.
in Russian
Yeah,
too.
a lot of performance they pander to the
That
audience.
pandering puts you in a
Oh, the audience like
Russia, I think
and
as well.
for me,
Most of the
in Russian,
if I pander to them, I am
like
advancing.
that pandering
You
puts
know?
you in a
So
box.
I don't care.
Sure.
Like
And
I
for
want you to
me,
laugh, but I want to laugh about what
If
I
I
want.
pander to them, I am not advancing. You know? So I don't care.
I want
Like
to laugh.
I want you to laugh.
It's
but I
comedy.
want to laugh
There has to be
I
laughter.
want.
You know?
You know?
But do you
That's
want
like,
them
that's
to
in
laugh?
the name. You know?
100%. I want to laugh.
Pander
Yeah.
to them.
It's
Yeah, they will
comedy.
laugh.
There has
At
to
the
be
same
laughter.
time, I will feel
You
like
know?
I don't.
That's like that's in the name. You know? But if
And it
I
happened to me
pander
before.
to
I don't know
them,
if it ever
yeah, they will
happened to
laugh.
you.
But at the same time,
For
I
me,
will feel like
what I hate
I
about the
don't-
audience is
I don't
when
wanna do
they're
this
laughing
anymore.
a lot.
And it happened
At
to me
me.
before.
Like
I
I
don't know
had
if
this
this
on
ever
the
happened to
gong
you.
show I did on
For me, when I think about the
like
audience,
last
is
Sunday.
when they're
There's
laughing
one
a
girl
lot.
who she would laugh
Like I
at
had this on
everything.
the gong
And
show.
I didn't even get. This is what I said.
Last
I-
Sunday. This one
This is what
girl
I said my mom. This
she
girl
would laugh
starts
at
giggling.
everything, and I didn't even get. This is what I said. This is what I said. I said my mom. This girl
She was
starts
laughing at
giggling.
Even the girl.
Because she
And maybe
kind
she's just not
of
picky. She's like no standards.
I guess.
But she was laughing at everyone.
Maybe
Maybe she's just not picky. No standards.
Maybe it didn't happen for some time to her, so she just
Yeah,
anyone.
But
Open
for
to
me,
anything.
like she was laughing at everyone.
It's
like,
it's
even
not
the
polite thing
hosts
to
and
do
everyone
to say,
told
but
her,
I guess
you have no clue what comedy is. Blah
Yeah,
blah
yeah.
blah.
But for me, like she was
But
laughing at
she
everyone.
helped me
like,
get
even
a couple
the
of good laughs.
host and
'Cause, like,
everyone.
the idea of the
told her,
gong show, if you
you
can
have no
get a
clue what
laugh every
comedy
40
is. Blah, blah,
seconds.
blah.
40?
And, but
40.
she helped me get a couple of
That's a
good
lot,
laughs.
yeah,
'Cause,
yeah.
like,
No,
the
I
idea of
was
the gong
pushing
show,
this.
if you
This is what
didn't get a
this is
laugh
what I
every
wanted
40
to do.
seconds,
Like I wanted to
you're
do
good.
the
40.
energy movers.
It's a
you
lot.
say it. I wanted to go
It's
on stage and
it's
tell
a lot,
the guy who's
I was
checking for
crushing
the time
so
because
I,
he was
this
Max.
is
I wanted to tell him,
this is what I
Max,
wanted to
give
do.
me 20
Like, I wanted
seconds.
to
If
do
I
a
don't
big
get them
thing
to laugh for
energy
20
movement,
seconds,
as
kick
they
me
say. I
out.
wanted to go on stage and
And
tell
thank God I
the
did
guy
that because
who's
my
checking
first
for
opener
time, his
didn't
name was
work.
Max. I wanted to tell him, Max, give me 20 seconds. If I don't
But
get
then
them
I
to
got
laugh
them
20
for,
seconds, kick me out. And thank God I
this is
didn't
how
do it
I know
because my
tags
first
are really
opener
amazing
didn't
because
work.
I get them to laugh. And like 5 seconds later, there's
But then I got them for
tag.
and like this is how I know
Tags is like,
tags are really amazing.
When
Because
you do
I
the
would get them to
punchline,
laugh,
and after the
and
punchline,
like 5 seconds later,
like
it's
a
like
small
another
joke.
laugh.
it's I don't know if
Tags is
Yeah,
like
I don't know if you
when you
like
when
play
you do the
fighting games,
punchline,
Mortal
and after the
Kombat.
punchline there's
In Mortal
like
Kombat,
another
it's
laugh.
I
the
see.
juggle
It's
punch.
I
That's
don't
when
know
you
if the
put your
yes, I don't know if you have like played
So
fighting
that's the
games.
thing.
Mortal
Yeah,
Kombat,
you just keep on
Mortal
the laugh.
Kombat is something called the juggle pump. It's when you put your arm in the air.
Yeah.
So that's
Kick
the
and
thing.
kick.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
so you
guess so.
keep on the laugh thing.
I guess that's the way to win the gong show.
Yeah.
Yeah,
100%.
That's what my favorite Russian comedian Ivan Sovich, I guess, does the
And
best.
I
Half
was
of
reading
his concert is
about
text.
like there's one
Just
comedian
puts
on
a little
YouTube
more,
who was
a
reading
little more,
about
a little
how
more, a
to
little to the left,
And,
4,
and,
5
and
and
there
everything.
was
Like
there
a
was I was
punchline,
reading
then you have a tag,
about, like,
then you have a
there's one
follow-up to the
comedian on
tag,
YouTube I
and
was
then you have
reading
an
about
act
this
out.
formula of how to
You
make
act
jokes and everything.
the
Like
joke.
the punchline, then you have a
On
tag,
stage,
Yeah,
yeah,
you
you
show
show
a
it.
follow-up
you
to the
show,
tag, and then you have an act
and he
out.
says like this
act out.
would make it
You act
for him.
the joke.
This is for him. It would make it
On
perfect.
stage, yeah, you show, you show.
Sorry, I cannot remember.
He said like this,
I'll find
would
him
make
if you
it
want. We can put him
for him. Again, this is for him. Would make it perfect. Who's the comedian you? Sorry, I cannot remember his name. I'll find it if you want to.
There is, I ride a bicycle a lot.
Yeah.
One of my phobia, there's a joke about, it says scheme for winning Tour de France. It's a little piece of paper
Yeah.
and it's in cycling attack, means
And
when
then
you
push them, roll
rush
drive, motherfuckers.
from the back of the cyclist and you push it with the car. And the little piece of
Then you
paper,
push them, roll rage, motherfuckers.
the little piece of paper says
Napoleon, he tried
right,
attack,
attack, attack, attack. That's the key to winning for the France. You just attack all the time.
Except for Napoleon, he tried attack, and he
Well,
froze.
him, I guess he moved quite enough for us.
Attacks,
Stop this where
like,
it stop. I wanted to say, I forgot what I wanted to say about
About attacks, winning
one thing about
cells, big
like I said,
energy.
like, for example,
That would be the
this
text for this podcast
what
on
you want to
YouTube.
say.
Like one
You
thing
don't put
about
yourself in the box. Two
like
are
you said,
different
for example,
than
this big
all the
beginning
others.
of your
My
what
idea
you
is
want
that
to say.
when you're building
is
a
that,
set, a 5-minute set or a
one, you don't
10-minute
put
set,
yourself in the box. Two, you are different.
posting
than
it on YouTube.
all the
Like,
others.
and Omar
My
had
idea
this
is that
discussion before. That
when you're
do you
building
put
a set,
your
a 5-minute
material
set
on
or
YouTube
10-minute set,
for
posting it on YouTube, like me and Omar, we had this
For me,
discussion.
here's the thing.
When
I
do you
can kind
put
of
your
relate to
material
you
on
saying
YouTube?
I'm
That's the
getting
question
bored of the
for me.
material because I have the similar thing where if I know the joke works, my heart is not in
I'm
it.
getting bored of the
So
material.
that's why I really like
Because I have a
last
similar thing where
Saturday when I did an English,
I
I was
know
doing like
that
a lot
joke
of newer
works,
material, a lot of
my
stuff
heart is not
I
in
know
it.
is not
Yeah.
working, and I
So
was
that's why I really liked my last
editing it a lot.
Saturday when I did
And I
the
really
English,
enjoy
I was doing
myself
a lot of
because I
newer
was even
material, a lot
laughing
of
at my own
stuff
jokes telling
I
it.
know it's not working.
You're
and I
having
was-
fun.
I was
I
having
was
fun with the material
editing it
because
a
I
lot.
didn't know where
And
it's
I really
gonna go.
enjoy myself because I was even laughing at my own jokes telling.
You're having fun.
I was
but
having
then
fun.
you repeat it
I didn't know where
a
it's
million
gonna go.
times, and now you're
I
like,
guess
ah.
the
that's
idea of
the
repeating
greatest
it for
when
me
you
is like
laugh
the moment
on
you
your
reach,
own
let's say
material.
the
Yeah,
applause
but then you
laugh,
repeat it.
and I
Like,
notice
yeah,
9 out of 10 times I can
The
get
idea of repeating
people
it
to
for me is
laugh
like
at
the
where
moment
I
you
wanted
reach,
to laugh in this
let's say
3
the
minutes or
applause
5
rate or the
minutes.
big laugh, and I know this.
That's when I know,
So
okay,
9
you
out of
are
10
ready.
times I can get
then
people to laugh
I
at where I
go
want
for
them
the
to
next
laugh.
one.
This 3 minutes
For
or
the
5
next
minutes.
now,
You know, that's when I know. Okay,
like
you are
I
ready.
have jokes about
And then
money, and
I
my problem
go on for
with
the next
writing is
for the next one.
So
Now,
then
I
you
joke
keep
about
it
my
for
name. Yeah.
so
later.
like I have
this
jokes
joke
about my
becomes
name,
bigger.
and my problem
It started
writing
with almost
is
15-second.
like I have a joke about my name.
Now it's a
Yeah.
7-minute bit.
Through time,
It's a 7
this
minute
joke
of
becomes
strong
bigger.
laugh,
It
laugh,
started
laugh,
with
laugh,
almost
laugh.
15
And
seconds.
also this, I
joke.
know, okay, this
Now
is perfect.
it's a 7-minute
Put
bit.
it so
And
that
it's
when
7
I
minutes of
perform it in a
strong
longer set,
laugh, laugh,
and
laugh.
this I
laugh,
can
laugh.
record and
You
put
know,
it
so
on
this I know. Okay, this is
like
perfect.
YouTube or
Put
whatever.
it.
Because here's the thing.
So that when I perform it
Like,
in a
because I
longer
know
set,
you, why the reason
this
why
I
you're
can
against
record
recording
and
is
put it
because
on-
you're always
on,
saying
like,
you can
YouTube or
add,
whatever.
you can always
Here's the
add
thing,
more to
Like
it.
always until
Well, like, because I know you, why
It's enough.
the reason why you're against
This is the thing, because
recording
I
is
saw
you're
it with a
always
lot
saying
of comedians abroad,
add-
in
you
America
always add more.
especially.
You can always
Like
until
they
at
sometimes
one
put out
point
a
you say
bit
this is
on
enough.
the internet
Yeah.
or something
This is
like
the thing,
that, and then you
I
see it
saw
on the
it with a
special,
lot of
and it's already
comedians
polished,
abroad,
so it's
America
like similar.
especially.
Like he did
Like they sometimes put out a bit
these 10 minutes
on the internet or
on
something like
his
that. Then you see it
video.
on the special.
He can
It's
always
already
go back to the
polished,
10 minutes,
so
add more
it's
jokes,
similar.
and then
Like
if
he
he
did,
gets it from the special, like
these
this
10
is-
minutes
you can always, and then
on
it's gonna
on
be
his
even
video.
better for.
You can always
Because
go back to
I
the 7
really
minutes,
like it
add
when I
more
see
jokes,
the raw
and then if he
material and
gets
then
to
how
the
it's
special,
super polished
this
to be on a
is
special.
always-
Like I really loved. I even
it's gonna
sent
be
you a
even
video
better
one
for
time.
Yeah.
Because I really like it when I see the raw material and then how it's super polished to be on a special. I really love. I even sent you a video one time.
Yeah.
No, I have a little different perspective on that because I'm working, I've been working in media for all my life, and I don't think that people who watch content nowadays, don't think they remember it after they watched it. And I don't think that if you posted a video on YouTube who got like 10,000 views, 20,000, 50,000, nowadays it's nothing actually. So I guess it's nothing to worry about. That
Yeah.
you post it online, and then you got a special which got like 50,000 views. Those
Yes.
I don't think those will be the same people. And if they are, they don't
Friday,
remember.
uh,
Do you remember the
Israel and
news
Palestine.
where
Something I agree.
Tell me the news from Friday.
On Friday, so it was about Israel and Palestine. Something I really.
But you don't remember the exact. Well, I do that kind of a joke. Sometimes I speak with students as a sometimes rarely. I'm asked to tell them something about the media, and that's my opener. Tell me what news you read 2 days ago. There are no answers. They don't remember. Even if they are journalists, if they plan to work in PR, they don't remember. So our attention span is like that. So as for me, I think that you shouldn't post like bad jokes. You shouldn't post bad material, but you should post frequently something
That's
to
why I
be
wanna
out there.
do hosting work because I
On
wanna
the
do like
internet.
a
I think
more
that's.
crowd work. So
I
I
don't
have
like
I wanna
what I said,
start
but
posting
you
stuff
should do.
on
That's why I
social
wanna
media, but I don't wanna burn
do
my
hosting
material.
more, and because I wanna do like a crowd
So
work,
far I
so
don't
I
do
don't
shit.
have like I wanna put
But
some
because
posting
I'm
stuff
still trying to
on
learn
social
how
media
to
because I
do
don't wanna
crowd work
burn my
properly,
material.
become better at.
So you post your.
So far I don't post shit. But because I'm still trying to learn how to
Just
do
crowd
crowd
work,
work
to
properly,
be
become
honest,
better.
I want to
understand
post
why
on
it's-
crowd work as
you know what
European
sucks
comedian
about it?
who's
Because
all
like I've
their
been hosting
content
for
is
It's
some
just
time,
around
and I
there,
always
which to be
want
honest,
like,
I understand
like,
sucks.
crowd work.
You know what sucks about it?
70% of it,
Because like I've been
40%
hosting
of it is
for
the audience.
some
They
time, and
make
I always
themselves
tell
laugh.
people who want to host like don't
You
talk
know,
like
so you're not
crowd work. It's
Yeah.
70% of it for me. 70%
Yeah.
is the audience. They make themselves
it's one
laugh.
dumb.
Sure.
It's one of like it's
You
a
know,
dumb
so
move.
you're not.
they feel the
Yes,
magic.
ask
Oh
someone,
my god, how
what's your
did
name?
you
They
come
say
up with
Ignat. I
this
say
funny answer?
Great Arabic name.
It's one
People laugh.
dumb.
Till
It's
this
one
day,
of
I
like
have
it's a
no idea
dumb
why they
eating
laugh.
joke. I ask
know?
someone, "What's your name?" They say Ignat. I say, "Oh, a great Arabic name." People laugh. Till this day, I have no idea why they laugh. You know?
Because they are out in the evening with their loved ones,
And-
they
and that's
dressed
the one
well,
thing
they
about crowd work
ordered
is
some
when
food,
a
and they
comedian
came to
does,
laugh, so they will use
a
all
joke that I
opportunities
did
to
not
laugh they
expect.
find.
You know? And
That's
that's
not
the
expected.
one
That's
thing
new to
about
this.
crowd work
Or
is
they
when a
have a plan.
comedian does
Dara O'Brien, he
a
has
joke that I
when
did
he
not
because
expect.
a lot of
You
his
know,
act is
like
crowd work.
let's not expect
Then
that's
he enters
new.
his material through
Or
crowd.
they have a plan.
What he
Dara
does
O'Brien,
is
he
every
has
person
when
he
he
talks to,
because
he has a
a lot
plan.
of his
He
act
says
is crowd work.
four laughs.
Then he enters his material through
You
crowd.
know,
What he does
it's a sitcom
is
thing. You know,
every
like
person he talks to, he has a plan in his head.
phrase, laugh.
4 laughs.
You know, and that was his
You know?
plan always. Phrase,
It's a
like he gets
sitcom
4
thing, you know,
laughs,
like
the moment he gets the fourth laugh,
phrase,
he leads
phrase,
one
laugh.
from one person.
You know, and that
What
was
he does
his
is he
plan.
switches
always.
to the next one. He
Phrase,
doesn't
phrase,
dwell
laugh.
on
He gets
it.
4
He doesn't
laughs,
let
the
them
moment he
talk
gets
too
the
much.
4th laugh, which he
It's
leads
very
one
nice
person.
when I
from
see
one person.
someone planning.
The moment he does it, he switches
This
to the
I
next.
really like,
He
'cause
doesn't dwell on
it's,
it. He doesn't let them talk too much.
It's obvious that
Which
he-
is very nice when I see someone
sometimes crowd
planning
work
it.
is just
This I really like
please
because
laugh, please laugh, please laugh.
it's
Oh,
obvious
it's
that he
very interesting.
knew
Now,
what he was doing.
About,
And sometimes crowd
we
work
talk about recording,
is just
there's also one
please
comedian
laugh,
who
please
said,
laugh, please laugh.
and his
Oh,
special,
and it's very
he
interesting. Now,
repeated, he
about
told the
we talk
audience,
about recording.
he
There's also
repeated a
one
joke
comedian who said
that was already had millions of views,
in his special
and they still
he
laughed.
repeated
To the point where
he told the
as
audience
comedians, we have no idea
he
what
repeated
people
a joke
but they still, like,
that
they
was
keep
already
this
had
joke
millions of views and they
you
still
know?
laugh.
But the thing is
The
that
point where
it's
he
false.
was
One thing about
asking me, we
Russian
have no idea
coverage
what
I
people laugh.
noticed,
But they still, like they
let's say
came
now,
for this
like the
joke.
guys will put out their
Yeah,
10 minutes or
maybe
5 minutes.
But the
like they
thing
keep
is
on
that it's
posting
false. One thing about Russian comedy
great comedian.
let's say now, like the guys who put out their 10 minutes.
No,
or
no, you
5
have
minutes,
you
like they
have
keep on
your
posting.
channel on YouTube.
Great comedian. Watch him at
YouTube.com.
no, you have your channel.
It's
You-
so
Yeah,
funny,
it's
man.
large
When I-
price
when I-
podcast.
Ignat
Podcast,
Productions. It's
so funny when I read it. And you have Ignatian. It's
United
so
Ignatian.
funny, man. When I read it. Ignatian
What
Productions.
I see,
it's
and I
just
think what
killed.
always happen is when you sit and you go, wait,
And
tell me more.
so yeah, like
You know,
these,
like do a
for
joke.
example, this,
Why did you stop
what
me?
I see, and I think you guys have it, is when you sit and you go, wait, tell me more. You know, they do a joke. Like, "Derek, why did you stop me?
That's what I'm told about my material. People sometimes listen to it. They say that I just
This is what I do as well.
touch
Like, I don't
thing and then I
I don't
move
go
on. They
deep
would
in any
like
of my
to.
stuff.
And I see that about other
I
people.
like around
Well,
for
That's what I do.
two, like
You know? I
as
don't go
Abed,
deep in
like
any
say
of
two,
those.
I've
I
been
guess
doing it
that's
properly, but
discuss
four in
how
total.
weird.
What about you?
Like around 4-ish. 2, like, as Abed, like say 2, I've been doing it properly, but 4. What about you?
I'm doing perform
And to be
for
honest, I
the
can
first
see
time
like
3 years
when you
ago,
post,
but
and when I see like how much you
I guess
perform,
properly
because
I'm
there are
doing
like
for like 8
for
months.
people who are listening, we have
And to be
Russian
honest, I
comedy
can
on
see like
Telegram. There are many
when you
groups,
post and when I
and
see like how much you
they post the
perform,
lineups
but
of
there are
people who
like
are performing. So I see you
for
in a
people
lot
who are
of
listening,
lineups.
we have Russian comedy
You have
on
so many
Telegram. There are
guests,
many
man. How
groups,
the hell do you?
and
How the
they
hell
post
do
the
you?
lineups of people who are performing. So I see you in a lot of lineups.
Yeah, I don't know.
You have so many guests, man. How the hell?
Oh man,
How
I
the
have a
hell do
secret.
you-
I have a secret. I will tell you the secret. The secret
Oh,
is
there's
that I
hard
use
mode.
websites for
Dating.
Yeah.
No. That would be easy.
Oh, there's hard mode.
There's a hard mode. It's Craigslist, you know Craigslist?
Yeah.
And analogs of Craigslist in Russia.
Market.
Called you do. That are you Profi? That are you and Yandex something.
Yeah, next month.
Yeah, not market, but another title. And I put out my
Schedule.
not the schedule. I put out the task of coming to the stand-up show, and I post a couple of my YouTube shorts there, and I put the price of 200 rubles for the person to come and be my guest there, and like in half of those guests, they decline the payment, and they say, "Come on, man, I'll just come. Is it free?" I say, "Yes, free." They, "Oh, come on, I will come." Just a lot of people don't know that
Can you
there
do
are
this for
free
English
stand-up
comedy?
in Moscow.
Yeah.
So I'm
For
kind
free.
of the advertisement for looking like Moscow.
Can you do this for English comedy?
Well, if you need, I can.
200 rubles.
200 rubles. Yeah. Well, I bring to all the English shows I've been at your shows. I brought my girlfriend.
Yeah.
And she likes it. She got kind of bored of Russian.
What's
And
the
that,
difference
but
in
she
the
said that
experience?
the English one, it's a nice, different experience. It's weird, and it's.
What's the difference in the experience?
I guess that. I don't know. The last one where I was, the crowd was so dead. I've never seen such dead. Well, I've seen such dead crowds somewhere, but they were so dead. But however, the comics they weren't given in to the deadness of the crowd. They were working on it, and also. As for me, as for her, we started looking, watching stand-up in English first of all, then moved to Russian. She's not a comedian, but kind of like, and it's weird and nice experience to watch stand-up as it should be in our heads. Because I watched like Louis for several years before I started even getting interested in Russian stand-up. I watched only big comedians, and for me coming to an English stand-up show, it's like being not in comedy cellar, I guess, but somewhere not in Moscow, because man, I'm bored of mics, Moscow Russian open mics. Before DK Fest, I decided the week before, I decided to perform a little less to give myself rest in that. And I went on 3 open mics that
The
week,
comedians,
and I decided that I will listen to them from the beginning till the end. Man, it's not good. It's
The comedians, you mean, are not good.
this show. There are good comedians on open mics. There are several, but actually, as a show, like watching 14, 15 stand-up comedians in a bar, in a remote bar in Moscow. I can't say it's bad, but it's not. You know, there is a saying in Russia, eating a cake with nothing. Well, it was eating a cake with nothing. Your stomach is full of something, But
Some of them
but-
are bad comedians, as you see performance.
I can't even explain properly why. I don't want to say it's bad. Some of them are bad comedians, as you say performance, not
Yeah.
comedians. Some of them,
You
not
want to
all
say
of them.
something?
But
No,
as
I
a
have
show,
a similar thing where
makes
I
you
don't
just
like.
kind of
For some
hate.
reason, again, because I also
They can just
very
uh,
interesting.
American
You want to say
professionals.
No,
like,
I have a
sometimes
similar
now,
thing
especially
where I don't
nowadays,
like-
now that I've been doing
For
comedy
some
for a
reason,
while,
again, because I
I
also
hate listening to
grew
other
up watching
comedians.
American
So
professionals.
I just get
Sometimes
pissed.
now,
It's
especially
the
nowadays,
experience is
now that
different
I've
than
been doing
mine.
comedy for a while,
Mine, what
I
I
hate
do is
listening
I
to other
go
comedians.
to like Russian stand-up and I sit
So
in the back
interesting.
and I watch
It's
15,
the experience
like
different than
17
mine.
comedians.
Mine, what I do is I
Once a
go
week.
to like Russian
Once,
stand-up and I sit in the back
I just
and
go
I watch
because
15,
there's
like
something in me
17
that
comedians.
I really sometimes like sit in the back and go,
Once a week.
show me something new.
Once a lot, I just go
Other thing,
because like there's something in me
yes,
that
rarely.
I really
And the other
sometimes I
thing
sit in
is
the back and go,
there's
show
one
me something
comedian,
new
Roy Woods Jr.
that I haven't
Keep on
watched.
referencing.
That happens rarely.
When he
Yes,
was starting
rarely.
comedy.
And the other thing
So he
is,
had like
there's
one
one
mic
comedian, Roy
in his
Jr.
city, I think it was
I keep on
Atlanta.
referencing.
He had one mic,
What he
a
did
week.
when he was starting comedy.
and so he had to travel.
So he had like one mic in his
But
city.
what
I
he
think was
understood,
Atlanta. He had one
especially
mic,
in American
a week.
style
and
of
so he
comedy,
had to travel to
is
different
that you need to be different. He's a
But
black
what he
comedian,
understood,
but he needed to be
especially in
different. So what he
American
did is, not only did
style of
he
comedy,
like watch
is that you
everybody's
need to be
set,
different. He's a black
also watch
comedian.
them on television,
But he
like
needed
what
to be different.
comedians
What
talk
he
about
did
on television,
is
on
not only
competitions,
did
on
he
all of those.
like watch
And he,
everybody's set,
every topic,
he
they talk
also
about
watched it on
being
television, like what
in the
comedians
hood.
talk about on
I
television,
will
on
not talk about
competitions,
this.
on all
I
of
will,
those.
so he started
And
just
he,
signaling
every
out
topic,
everything
they
that
talk
all
about
other
being
comedians talk about.
in the hood.
So he would be the only
I will not
comedian
talk about
who
this.
talks about
I
the
will-
check.
So he started just
No
signaling
comedian
out
talks about-
everything
he has a
that
joke
all
about
other
the check.
comedians talk about.
Yeah,
So he would be the only
he talks about
comedian
when I
who
go
talks
to buy
about
an
the check.
iPhone, I make
No
sure
comedian
that
talks
the
about.
cashier
He has a joke about the check.
puts the phone
restaurant.
in the bag.
Yeah. Like
And
he talks
they
about
put
when
the
I go to
check,
buy
they
an
don't give it to
iPhone,
me, they
I
staple
make
it
sure
to
that
the
the cashier
bag. Because when I go out,
puts
that
the
policeman, when
phone
he sees
in
I
the
have a
bag,
bag,
and
before they shoot
they
me, I
put
say,
the
it's a
check.
check.
They
And
don't
they
even
don't.
they staple
It's
it
just- it's
to
just,
the bag.
you know,
Because when
so
I go out,
he-
that policeman,
and
when
this
he
is what
sees
I
I have a
want.
bag,
I like to go
before they
watch
shoot me,
what
say,
somebody
it's a
talks
check,
about.
and they don't.
It's interesting
just
in Russian
you know,
comedy that
so he
one, the
signaled that this
delivery,
was
I think one of the
like
boring
go
things,
and watch
which
what
I
everybody
learned
talks
how
about.
to like not watch
And
this.
It's
Because
interesting in Russian comedy
they
that
all have
one,
a
the
deadpan
delivery, I think one of the
Not all,
boring
of
things,
course. Most
which
of them have
I
a
learned how to
deadpan.
like not watch.
I have it in
Because
Russian. I don't
they
think I have
all
it a lot in
have
English, but in
deadpan
Russian I'm
delivery.
more deadpan
Not
than
all.
I am in English, and
Most
I'm low energy in
have
English
deadpan.
already.
I have it in Russian. I don't think I have it a lot in
Yeah,
English.
yeah,
In
yeah,
Russian,
yeah.
I'm more deadpan than I am in English, and I'm low energy in English.
Well, I mean, I was never
Well,
high
deadpan
energy,
is
I
the-
think.
is low
I was
energy.
never high
Yeah,
energy.
yeah. So you're English.
But in Russian,
is
I'm
moving
also
to deadpan
low
mode.
energy even
Well,
more, because
I mean, I was never
I think
high
that's the
energy.
only
I
way
think I was never high energy.
which is not true.
But in Russian, I'm also
I'm
lower,
saying, I'm not
low
saying it's
energy
bad.
even
I'm
more.
saying it's like
It's like
a
I
lot
think
of
that's
the
the only
comedians.
way.
What I like to
in
say
my
is,
head.
I
That's
can
just not
give
true. You know,
this person's
and I'm
jokes
saying,
to
I'm not saying it's
anybody
bad.
else, and they
It's
can
like,
tell these jokes.
a lot of the comedians, what I like to say is, I can give this person's jokes to anybody else. They can tell these
Hey
jokes.
man, maybe you'll have some.
That's why
some friends in
I
prison. But,
say only pedophile jokes. Because no one will think.
You're my type
Hey,
of
man,
audience.
maybe you'll have some friends in prison. But
Wrong to the
Who will?
crowd.
Oh man, that relates.
you're my type of audience. Well, I was born to the wrong crowd my whole life.
Yeah.
Deadpan, but in a
You let
different
them
way.
hear every week, every
And I'm
evening.
like,
And then
I can
I
say
hear
that
someone
one of the
who
few
does
is well,
that
but he's
fan, but in a
already
different
very
way.
experienced, which Vasily
Okay,
You
Dvin.
know, and I'm like,
But he's
How is
like-
it that
he's-
fan in a different way?
I can say that one of the two is well, but he's already very experienced. Vasily Dvin. But he's like,
What's the difference in his that fan?
I
kind of not
When it's too mainstream,
Vasily
yeah.
Dvin
yeah.
because everyone seems to like him. And that's the thing with me when everyone says
When
like,
it's too
No, no, but
mainstream.
the-
yeah,
Deadpan
that's
is,
for me.
a
It's
way of
mainstream because
delivery.
he has one lines
And,
because deadpan. So what's the what's the difference?
No, but that fan is
The type of
a way of
jokes.
delivery.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
I don't think any his
I
delivery
just
of
said
the
it
jokes
too.
And his
what does he do? What's the difference
The
between
type of jokes.
Nobody,
His
like
jokes,
you said,
I don't think any of
whatever.
his delivery
He
of
has
the
all of
jokes
these like
and
let's
his
say
type,
dark jokes
his
or
topics,
thin
nobody
line,
can
like
talk.
the
Nobody,
jokes that are
like we said,
right
with the
on
theory
the
jokes,
tip.
whatever. He
Plus
has all
his
of these
delivery.
stuff. Let's say
So
dark
unique
jokes
to
or thin line,
that nobody can do
jokes
that
that are right on the tip. Plus his
Plus,
delivery,
I
so
watched him
unique
perform
to
in
him
English, and I
that
have
nobody
so
can
much
do
respect
that
for him.
delivery.
I'll
That
rewatch
when he learned in English, it was
Mercury
based on Google
3000
Translate,
or whatever.
but he
I
kept
watch
on
him
that
perform in
delivery.
English, and I have so much
And
respect
it's
for him.
what made him so
And when
funny.
he learned in English, it was
At
basically
the,
Google
at
Translate.
the same time, sorry for
But he
interrupting. At the
kept
same
on
time,
that
I would like
delivery.
to see him more energetic, but again,
You
like,
know,
this is
and
too much
it's
of an
what
ask.
made him so funny.
Actually, I've seen him on 10
You know,
and stuff. He
At the same time, sorry for interrupting. At the same
Again,
time,
this
I would
now
like to
depends
see
on
more
what you
energetic, but
identify as
again,
deadpan,
this
because
is
for me,
too much of an
deadpan,
answer.
and it's something you
Actually, I've
actually
seen him on
pointed out to
10
me,
stuff.
is the guy
Again, this
doesn't
now
move,
depends on
doesn't
what you
react,
identify as
anything.
deadpan.
And
Because
tone
for
of
me,
voice,
tone of
deadpan
voice.
is something you
Vasily
actually
Medvedev, for
point out to
example,
me is
he
the
actually
guy
moves. He has some
doesn't
bits where
move,
he
doesn't react.
adds a little bit of energy.
The tone
Well,
of
now we're
voice.
talking about
But-
him being more
But
experienced.
Vasily
That's
Medvedev,
when
for
he
example,
started.
he actually moves. He has some bits where he adds a little bit of energy.
But well, now we're talking about him being more experienced, not when
Yeah.
Is there are there any differences between Russian and English stand-up which show
Work,
which is
hard
not
work. Uh,
which Russian is better?
ah,
Because it's usual to say that Russian is better.
hard
because-
work.
Hard work. No, I mean as a viewer.
As in,
Why should I like Russian stand-up being different from English? Not in a bad way, because it's usual to say, yes, that's why we have all that
one thing I
in Russian stand-up, because that, and they have.
it still
Come
needs
on,
people
what
to
we
get
have,
out.
what they don't have.
Now
I
I'm not
think
gonna
it's,
talk about
it
like
still needs.
what's
One thing I really think
unique or
it
why
still
should
needs
people
time.
watch it for now.
You
But
know,
what I
it
think
still
it
needs
needs
people to get. Well,
people.
now I'm not
now
gonna talk
into that
about
limit.
what's
People should get
unique
out
or why
of
should
that
people
shell
watch for now.
of
But I think
I
if we
watch
So
every
they
other
basically
comedian.
people,
They do this
I'll get to
delivery,
that in
I
a
have
bit.
to do this.
People should get out
The
of
one
that
thing
shell.
that people should watch it for.
I watch every
It's
other
not,
comedian.
the open mics
They
are
do this
still,
delivery. I have
let's
to
say,
do this.
raw.
So, yeah,
If
the one
more
thing that I said people
experienced
should watch it
Yeah.
for.
One,
It's not
the
the
topics
open
they
mics are
talk
still like, let's say, raw.
about.
More experienced comedian.
Not
Yeah.
only topics.
And one,
It's,
the topics they can.
How can I say this?
know?
Well, for me, it's just a few comedians
two,
who act out.
Not
their
only
jokes.
topics. It's.
These are, but to watch
I-
Russian stand-up.
Well, for me, it's just a few
What
comedians
I want to say
who
to
act
Russian
out.
comedians is fucking perform in English. Because you have
These
I think
are,
a lot
but
of, I watch
to
a lot
watch
of
Russian
comedians who have a
stand-up,
different personality in
What
English.
I want to say to Russian comedians, fucking perform in
I
English.
think, no,
Because
actually,
you have a,
well,
I
for
think
me, the
a lot
ones
of,
that
Russian
actually are
comedians will
good
have a different personality.
are the ones whose personalities are the same.
Yeah.
I
For
think
me, I
no,
just
actually, well,
that's why
for
I like
me, the
Fotif
ones
a lot
that
in English
actually
and
are good
Arkady.
are the ones where
I like a lot of your premises, man, honestly. Like, I really,
Yeah,
that's
for
the
me,
reason why I
that's what
invited
I-
you here.
So I like both
I
the
really
lot
love
in English and
the absurdity of your
And I
premises.
like a lot of your premises.
Yeah,
honestly.
that too.
I
Sorry.
really, that's
Yeah,
the
yeah,
reason why I
the
invited
topics,
you
the
here.
topics basically. The
It's-
the
I really
premises were
love
so fucking interesting.
The absurdity of your
Not
premises.
every comedian
Oh,
sound like
yeah, that too.
have the-
Yeah, that's the point. The topics, basically. The
forgot
premises
the
are so fucking interesting.
Yeah, I think
And not every comedian
Ah,
from
yeah,
like,
yeah, yeah.
he has a very
There's one
funny
comedian,
joke
yeah.
about like 9/11 and Bin Laden.
Yeah, I think
It's such
they
a
performed in English.
I
yeah.
think nobody
He has
can
a
touch
very
this
funny joke about like 9/11 and Bin Laden. It's such a I really nobody even touched this.
You know, I guess
Yeah.
based on the likes in my Instagram profile, I see a lot of 9/11 jokes, like a lot.
Yeah.
And I thought about it lately, and I think it's crazy that there is like a, it's kind of, as I see it from my Instagram account, kind of a mainstream nowadays in American young internet humor joking about 9/11. And it's crazy because you can't imagine anything like that in Russia. That some terrorist attack, like from 10, 20 years ago, will be so joked about.
Yeah.
On the
One
stand-up
thing,
store stage. There
Omar
was one day
mentioned
when
it before.
like
I
invited
really
him to perform on the
love
stand-up stage.
watching him
And
in
he performed
English.
once, didn't do well
on the stand-up store stage.
time he performed.
There was one
I
day
was
when
in the green room
like,
going,
I invited
who
for his
is on
stand-up
stage
store.
right now?
He performed
This
once,
is not
didn't do
gonna
well.
for them
The
because
next
in
time he
Russian.
performed, I was in the green room going, who is on stage right now?
This was about like
This
6
is not
months ago.
gonna be for them. Because in Russian,
After that still open mic.
no, this was
There's a lot of
this was about like
skeletons
6
in
months
his,
ago.
Well, he has the personality of a
Literally, yeah.
kidnapper who kidnapped us all. I felt that.
He has a lot of skeletons in his basement. Literally, yeah.
And the best.
Never even
And
imagined.
This is the first time I see this.
Delivery.
He
We
was
could say it was
walking on
it's a
stage.
deadpan delivery.
Yeah, a low energy.
You know,
I
someone with
have
low
never
energy
even
deadpan
imagined
delivery to be walking on
person with
stage.
his delivery. We could say it was that it's a deadpan delivery.
Literally,
You know,
they just stand
someone with
on
low
spot.
energy and a deadpan delivery
that's it.
to be walking on
Yeah,
stage.
he was walking
Even not running.
on the stage. And
Usually they just stand in one
literally, I was
spot.
so out of
Yeah.
my
Ah, I see. He was walking
Yeah, he was
around.
walking
Again, I
on
go
the
back,
stage, and the
getting
whole
out of the
time
shell,
I was
getting
so literally I was so out of my
I
mind.
think it's
Yeah, this is what I like. It's kind of again I go back getting out of the shell, getting
This is walking during the heat was good.
how
I
many,
think
you know,
it's different.
what I like
I
to say,
made
this is
myself
what I told- this is
do
what I
that.
told myself. When I want to do something new, I do it for a whole month.
How many? You know, or what I like to say like this is what I told myself. When I want to do something new, I do it for a whole month.
I did it
For me,
for
it's
a couple
difficult
of
to walk
months.
on stage
I was
because
less
my jokes
experienced
are
comedian
short.
back then.
Yes, sure.
Because I heard this from
Maybe I should try
Ralphie
it
May,
again.
I believe it was Ralphie.
Yeah.
It's difficult
If you
to
walk on stage,
because my
you
jokes are
walk
short.
to the, like, let's say,
So,
right side,
like,
you
because
get their
I
attention,
heard
you walk
it
to the
from,
left side, get their
Ralphie May,
attention,
I
and
do.
you deliver the
If you walk on
punchline
stage,
in the middle.
you
It's
walk
it's
to
not
the,
the
like, let's say,
walk,
right
it's how
side,
you look.
you
So,
get their attention, you walk to the
what he
left
said
side,
is
get their
like
attention,
set
and
up,
you deliver the punchline
punchline.
in the middle.
Make
It's
sure everybody
it's not the
to right
walk,
and
it's
left
how you look.
see
So
Yeah, and the
what
problem
he
for
said
me
is
is
like
if I
set
walk
up,
to the
set
right,
up,
by the time I
punch.
get to the
It's not
yeah,
walking.
Make sure everybody
now I
right
look,
side
look,
see
and then
see
Yes.
you.
Yeah, and
like
the problem
if
for
I'm
me
saying
is
if
if
I'm
I
gonna
walk to the
by the
right,
time I
by the time I get to the
It's not
left
walking.
side,
I'm
but now
already
I
like
learned.
punchlines deep.
Yes.
So it's
Like, but if I'm saying if I'm gonna walk, by the time I get to the right side, I'm already like 3 punchlines deep.
My,
Yeah.
my Mike
We have tags.
one of the greatest
You know,
storytellers.
I watched, you know, Bertiglia.
Mike,
Yeah, yesterday
one of the
watched-
greatest storytellers.
I watched like 20 minutes of his Kid by the Pool, Kid in the Pool concert. Man, he walks alone. He lies, he sits, he walks, and he sometimes delivers his jokes not to the audience, but he stays like that to the audience. And then he walks a little, he turns around, and he turns around.
His work is kind of
I
different because
I didn't even listen to the joke. I just watched him move.
That's one thing.
That's
That's
great.
one thing. Christopher Titus,
but his
when
work is
he's
kind of
performing,
different
Mike in
because
hand.
But he doesn't have a mic in his hand.
It's like
that's
he-
one thing.
he-
That's one thing.
When
Christopher
he's
Titus,
holding the mic,
when he
people are
started
more
coming,
focused
mic in
on,
hand.
like the
Then
mic.
he noticed
You know,
himself
it's for him.
like he didn't.
Of course, it's different for every other
when
comedian.
when he's
It
holding
was
the mic,
disconnected
people are
his
more
story
focused on
from the
like
audience.
the mic.
So what he did,
You know, it's
he
for him.
started with the mic
Of course,
that's
it's
like
different for every other
what's it
comedian.
called? But it
It
was
was
visible.
disconnected his
So
story
what he said
from the
is they
audience.
still
So
noticed
what he
this. I
did
could
is he started with the mic that's like
So
I
what
don't
he
know
did
what it's
is
called,
he
but
now
it was
has
visible.
I
So
forgot
what he
the-
said is they
Yeah.
still noticed it.
like,
I
like to his
see that they noticed it.
so that
So
his
what he
hands
did
move,
is he now has
his
a
expression, everything
forgot
is
the
there.
wired.
And what
Yeah,
he said, for example,
like
because you have short jokes,
to
is
his
when you
like
have
to his
a
shirt,
longer,
so that his hands move,
a longer bit.
his expression,
Yeah,
everything
and
is
when
there.
you're walking,
And what you said, for
what I
example,
think
because you have
it is,
short
one,
jokes,
you're
is when you
different.
have a longer
It gives out
a longer
like
bit.
experience. Like
Yeah,
one thing,
and when
which
you're
before Dov
walking,
does,
what I think
and
it is, one, you're
James
different.
Acaster,
Two,
I don't know if you know,
it gives out
he,
an
he
experience.
was saying how
Like one thing,
when he get
which
he
before
says,
Dov does,
here's something for new
and
performers. Get on stage
James
and
Acaster.
don't say anything for 10 seconds.
he was
Look at
saying
the
how
crowd and say thank
when
you.
he says here's something for you.
You know, before
Right,
they do
get on
it,
stage.
I do it a lot
Don't
in
say
Russian as
anything
you
for
know,
10 seconds.
приветик, you know.
Then look at
It's
the audience and
such
say
a-
thank you.
I
what
do
it
that a
does,
lot.
again,
Yeah.
builds tension.
You know, before the like you know,
Yeah, exactly.
You know, it's such a what it does again builds tension.
Yeah, makes you look like you're in experienced
And
one.
Yeah,
And they laughed
in
at
open
that,
mics in Russia, and would
and
like
they
to
gave
see
you a
someone
laugh before you even
do
said
that,
anything.
which
Yeah.
I saw.
And this is
Helps
something
a lot.
I really
Oh,
look
this is
in
like awesome.
open mics in Russia.
You
I
are,
would like to
for
see
me,
someone
oh, you are different.
do that,
You know,
which
you
I
are more
saw.
experienced. This is as a
And this is
viewer.
when I go, oh, this is like awesome. You are, for me, it could be, oh, you are different. You are more experienced. This is as a viewer.
That a little of what I call comedic. When you can, I heard it from someone like a year or two ago that as a comedian you should be funny not only in your bits but
What's his name?
between those
Jerry,
bits.
Yes.
And
Jerry
that
Corbin. I
staying
don't know if you know
and
him.
looking
He has a
and
book
being
called
silent is
Breaking down comedy's DNA.
Jerry Corbin.
It's a very interesting thing. What
And
he
he has a
says
book called
is that what I noticed in a lot of new Russian
yeah, breaking
breaking
the comedy. It's a very
tell their
interesting.
jokes.
What he
It's
says.
like they're reading from a teleprompter.
That what I noticed in a lot
It's
of
not
new
you,
Russian
it's
people,
you.
even actual experience, when they tell their jokes, it's like if they're reading from a teleprompter.
yeah.
It's not.
You can
it's
hear
not-
that.
Yes.
Very
Yes.
few
I call it
react
literature.
to things around.
He's giving literature. That's
When a
what you
glass
wrote
breaks
and it
in a
goes
bar,
as
let's
you
say,
wrote.
or when someone is
And
doing
very
something I
few
like, because this is
who
my
react
style,
to
I
things
am
around.
very aware of my surroundings.
When a glass
It
breaks
caused me a
in
lot
a
of
bar, let's
problems.
say, or when someone is doing something I like because this is my style, I am very aware of my surroundings. It could cause me a
That's
lot of
experience. That's when you are through being thrilled of just being on stage. When you can feel a little what is happening. That's actually I think that's experience. I didn't have it when I only started. Now I can be in there with them and joke about what's going on. But when you joke about you not being funny, that's a piece of that. You can I forgot the word that you check in with what's going on. Yeah, I guess that's a pure experience. You just don't feel crazy stressed of being there.
How did you feel from
I want to
the
talk
point
about
it
your
started,
story
like
about your BK
people performing? How many people?
Like you said, you were in a
It was
stand-up
like 21
competition.
comedians.
Yeah. How did you feel
And,
from the point it
The
started?
only thing I really liked about
how many people did they perform?
the
How was
performance is
audience?
this,
like 21
because so it was a gong show.
And
If you didn't get a
the
laugh
only
every
thing I
30
really
seconds,
liked about
you either you get kicked out unless someone pays
so the
like
gong show,
money to keep you in.
you didn't get a laugh every 40 seconds.
An audience member says,
You
so I think it's a minimum of 500 rubles.
money to
And
keep
then-
you in.
Oh man, like there was
An audience member
group of
says,
3 guys. Any girl when she gets kicked out, they just pay for her.
oh man,
Yeah, man. Oh,
there was a
I,
group of 3 guys.
Literally, why stand up
Any
as
girl when she
prostitution now?
gets kicked out, they just pay for
I
her.
already had 2.
Yeah, man. Oh,
Like,
literally, why stand up is
have to get
prostitution
one
now?
way.
Literally.
Have to get saved by
I
any
already
jokes.
had
I
two,
know they worked
like,
enough to get me
like-
to the finals.
The only thing I'm proud of, I didn't have to
Unless
get bought by anyone.
until it was the
I didn't
finals,
have to get saved by anyone.
my
Like,
jokes stopped working.
They worked
But I wanted, I was kind of a little bit hoping
unless
to get
until it was the finals.
because I
My
wanted to
jokes
try a
stopped
joke. I
working.
wanted to tell the guy like
But
if someone
I wanted
offered to
I
pay
was kind
to
of
make,
hoping
let me
to
continue.
get
I wanted to
kicked
try.
out. So I wanted to try a
no,
joke.
just
I
give
wanted
me
to
the
tell
money.
the guy like.
So I thought it was gonna
what
get
offer
the
to pay.
clap. So I was kind of hoping I get
Let me
kicked out.
continue. I wanted to try. Say,
But it was
no,
really
just give me the money.
nice.
I thought it was gonna get
Until,
the
like,
clap.
I
So I was
don't
kind
know.
of
For
hoping I
me,
get
the
kicked out.
one
I
thing I
didn't,
hated
so-
was the
But it
girl
was
who
really
won, like,
nice.
Obviously, like, congrats to her,
Until,
but I
like,
didn't feel like she deserved
I don't know.
it.
Like for
I
me,
felt like there
the
were
one
stronger
thing I
comedians,
hated
not me.
was
I felt
the
like there were stronger
girl who
comedians.
won. Like, honestly,
Uh,
like, congrats to her, but I didn't feel like she deserved it.
And
I felt like there were
this is
stronger
one thing I
comedians.
hate
Not
about
me.
Russian
I felt like
comedy.
there were stronger comedians.
I don't know why. I don't think they're ready for dark jokes.
And
Like, I remember
this is one thing I hate about Russian
dark
comedy.
jokes. Like,
I don't know why. I don't think
No,
they're
dark
ready for
jokes
dark
at all.
A
jokes.
Russian audience doesn't
Like
like
I
art.
remember,
sorry,
dark jokes.
or maybe they don't
like
like my dark jokes.
Russians don't like dark jokes.
No, dark jokes at all.
Russian audience doesn't like
I don't think they are. Or maybe they don't like my dark.
I remember
Well,
doing.
I think some
this
comedians
is
are
how
just
it was
afraid.
promoted.
I think that's about the
They
pandering
said
people.
it's like a dark
There are dark jokes.
joke.
I
right?
remember
I go
doing.
there. I
this
did
is
my
how it's
darkest jokes
promoted.
ever. People told me.
And they
"Man,
said
these
it's
jokes are
like
too
a dark.
And I
joke night. I go there.
It's like
I did
wait,
my darkest
I
jokes ever. People told me,
Yeah, well-
man, these jokes are too dark.
50 Shades of Dark.
It's
Yeah.
only
Not
black.
too dark.
It's like wait, I have more.
Yeah, well,
50 Shades.
Shades of dark.
It's only black.
So yeah, but yeah,
Well,
I had fun. Like, I
That's
like.
Omar.
Yeah.
I mean, I didn't really care to.
So yeah, so-
I also liked
Yeah,
the
that-
idea of
I had
trying
fun,
new
like-
jokes. I was the only one who tried new jokes.
I like.
Which kind of fucked me in the finals, because in the
I
finals
mean, I didn't really
got
care
done with
to
my
it, so
better
I
jokes.
also like
In
the
the
idea
finals,
that
I
I was
did one
trying
joke
new
and it
jokes.
fucked
I'm
up
the
so
only one
badly.
who tried new jokes.
It fucked up the
Which
rest.
kind of fucked me in the finals. In the finals, I should've
my Russian
done
was
my
off.
better joke. In the
And
finals, I
the
did one
joke
joke and I fucked
a
it up so
joke
badly.
that relied on a bit of
Why do you think
wordplay
you
in
fucked
English.
My
And
Russian
I
was
kind of
off.
found an alternative way to say it in
And
Russian,
the
but
joke
I
was
didn't test it
a
enough.
joke
So
that relied
it's
on a
like-
bit of wordplay
yeah, it
in
was-
English. And I kind of found an alternative way to say it in
Keep the
Russian.
idea of
That I
Okay.
tested it
And
up.
what about your experience
So,
in the
it's
VK
like-
Fest? Like, how?
yeah,
Why did you get on it? How was the process for you? And
Keep
I
the idea of
remember
testing
I wrote a post.
And what about your experience in the VK
I
Fest?
got
Like,
to
how?
the second
Why
round,
did you get?
and then you
Why
talked
did you
to the
get on?
authors,
How was the
but I didn't
process?
follow their.
And I remember I wrote the post you wrote. I got to the second round, and then you talked to the authors, but I didn't follow their.
Yeah,
Hotel room, I know it. I know it.
And I performed in front of two authors in a little hotel room.
Hotel room, I know it.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, it took
What
like
did you do with the
hours.
rest of the
They
27
fucked me
minutes
for
that you
half an hour,
had?
half an hour or something. That was basically.
Oh, nice.
No 27
Yeah.
minutes. I
What
was
did
just
you do with
proving to
the
them
rest of the
uncomfortable
27
silence.
minutes?
We just sat there.
For 27 minutes, I was just proving the uncomfortable silence.
It's okay. That's what I dreamt of. Well, okay, later. So my experience, they always, not always, but most of comedians say that performing on the audience of stand-up comedians is tough. I think the opposite. I think that actually comedians who like comedy, but there are some stand-up comedians who obviously hate stand-up comedy. But if not if you're definitely. Yeah, I know some comedians, and it reads when you watch a comedian that he hates it. So if the comedians like stand-up comedy, they are the most open to laugh audience there is. So and also me, I spent whole 2 days there on the BK Fest in that hotel. I listened to I don't know, a couple of hundreds of comedians, and I liked some of them, and it was really interesting finding similarities in the material of comedians who come from the same cities.
Yeah.
It was like a little of science for me, science of stand-up. I performed well. I just got there and gave it all. I was super ready, and I don't
To the
even.
hotel room.
And I was talking about earlier about being able to check in and feeling I wasn't able to check in at all.
Yeah.
I just later.
Crying or
When I was performing for the first time, passing through the first round, I remember it's like it felt like one of my first stand-up performances because I didn't see anything because of the light and because of I was nervous. I couldn't stop. I couldn't be faster or slower. I was just delivering what I had in my head, and I was delivering. And I guess because I performed so much before that for the past 5 months, I just didn't even need to be checking it. I just went through like the machine, given, and they left in all right places where I need. That's why I didn't feel more nervous, and I just could go on and on and on till the end. And I myself stopped my performance and said, "That's it. That's my 3 minutes. Thank you very much." I didn't push it further like some of them because I think that when you're on that kind of
Yeah.
in that context, when you push it like to 4 to 5 minutes and they put music over you, that makes you look
Yeah.
a little sad. So I stopped myself right where I wanted to stop. So
Yeah.
I wasn't a stand-up comedian. I was a
Show them
stand-up
the
machine.
robot.
Yeah, just have something recorded, have all the moves. I had some moves.
Yeah.
I rehearsed.
Show them the robot. That.
Kind of. I had like this, I had like this, and I did all. I didn't show where the sun is. I did all the right thing. And so when I got through it, and when I was told, come on, let's go chat, I thought, yeah, that's what's up. That's what was to happen. That everything is right.
Yeah.
Because I did everything I needed to do. And then when I came up to the hotel room, that's when actually the problem started to.
You open the door and there's a casting couch.
Yeah, black one. I've seen that one earlier. I don't remember where. Because I felt it, and I was told, kind of by the editors, that well, I don't actually have a lot of jokes. I have a lot of, as you said, I act out. Sometimes I have it. I have a lot of jokes which are jokes on the system of jokes, but I don't give a punchline. But it's not actually a joke. You can, as you said, there is a lot of jokes in Russian stand-up which you can give to the other comedian and it will work just fine. I guess that I don't have a lot of that jokes because lots of my material is based on me just being me and making like, okay, well that's it guys, no punchline here, move on. And they said that
God was like,
jokes.
you do, guys, he's doing well. You guys don't know
Hard,
shit.
solid, honest to God jokes here.
God was like, you know the guys, he's doing well. You guys don't know shit.
Yeah, I guess God will. At that time. So that made me think, and I'm still thinking about it. And also your comment on my 10 minutes, which I put out yesterday on the internet, that I don't quite polish, and I don't quite dig into the material. I just find something. I find funny words. Find some funny like. Not even. It's sometimes not even words. It's like what the words sound like, and it sounds like something funny, and it works. A lot of stuff works in fun. But when you get to the that kind of audience, you need you need jokes. And I count that. After that, I smoked a little, and I sat by myself at home, like at 4 in the morning. And I thought, okay, let's recollect what jokes I have. And I started going through my notebooks, going through my voices on my which I recorded, and I counted 7.
To get to the
So
punchline.
3 years of stand-up comedy, I have 7 jokes, and they are like 5 minutes long, all of them.
Ah.
To get to the punchline is 5 minutes.
No. If you put all the jokes I have from 3 years, that would be 4, 5 minutes. I have lots of playing around, lots of.
So you thought so you thought you had more minutes, and then you realized I have.
Yeah.
Okay.
I have this,
Okay.
and not only I have this now, like I have all of this from like 2 years ago, which worked, which was a joke.
Yeah.
Which had setup and punchline, which was short and funny, and which worked most of the time. And I have like
Do you feel
8 jokes, and that made me think actually that I should start writing.
killing
Maybe.
Do you feel that because you said your jokes worked? Do you feel that you were at the audition of killing everything was fine?
You didn't advance, like, but you.
Do you feel that
to the filming or not?
what Omar said before? Do you feel that you were wrong? Of, but
No.
you didn't advance, like, but you're gonna go.
Really? Okay. So I have here a question. Do you feel that you were wrong?
Okay, we talked a little, and they said, okay, man, so sorry, you
Really?
know.
Okay. So I have here a question. Do you feel that you were wrong?
Maybe.
No, I don't feel wrong. I felt sad for a day,
Well,
maybe for 2.
maybe about 6 months.
Maybe I'm. I don't. Well,
Yeah.
I know some personally know few comedians who got there.
Yeah.
Who will have their monologues finished.
Yeah.
And all of them, all three of them, are
I understand.
obviously characters.
Yeah.
I don't think that they are the greatest comedians out there, but they differ from all the other people. So I'm a producer myself, and I understand that it's not always about finding the best. Sometimes you aim to find something special and you look for it, and some people, some artists who are good, they just don't fit in your project. So I understand what they were. It's not about finding the best comedian, I guess.
Yeah.
It's about making an internet content which is different, and through that difference, it will find different audience on the internet. So they look for the characters who will be promoting their product to different audiences. So no, I don't feel wrong. Also, I read Telegram channels of comedians who got there, and as they write, they do kind of a lot of work there. They have auditions, they have writing sessions, they have feeding sessions. And I myself, we have a group of three. We have a group of three comedians, my friends. And we are writing a sketch show right now, and I really love our writing. I really like what we are going to film later. And I think that if I would get to this project, maybe I wouldn't have as much time to do that. And maybe it would be better for my career, but I would have to choose. So I don't feel entirely.
The late late show with
You know
Craig
what's
Ferguson.
so interesting for me? I think I don't know if you know Craig
Like a talk
Ferguson.
show host.
No.
Yeah?
So
His
he's
show
a
was very
late,
different from like
a late
Jimmy
show.
Fallon, the
Craig
Kimmels,
Ferguson.
like all the
He
other talk show hosts.
was like a
He
talk
is
show host.
so much unique.
His
because
show
most
was
of
very
it
different
was
from like
improvised.
Jimmy Fallon, the Kimmels,
Yeah.
like all that,
And
all other talk
his
show hosts.
main
He
thought was
is
he
so much unique
was
because most of what he does
the
was
idea of talk
improvised.
shows. And what
You know?
he did, which I so
And
much respect,
well, his
not
main
that,
thought
like,
was
he's one of my favorite
was
comedians,
deconstructing the idea of talk show.
would invite comedians.
And what he did, which I
you
so
know,
much
like
respect,
to perform, to do
not
five
that like
minutes,
he's one of my
7
favorite
minute bits
comedians.
on his show. It was so interesting
He
because
would invite comedians,
they were not the typical
you
setup
know,
punchline.
like to perform to do a
You
5
had
minute,
the typical
or
setup
7 minute
punchline, but
bits
you
on
had
the
others
show.
who were like,
It was so interesting because
they're just
they were not the typical
character
setup
comedians.
punchline.
There were others who
You
were
had
just,
the typical
as you
setup
said,
punchline,
there was
but you
no,
had others who
this
were
idea
like,
of there's a punchline. No.
They're
It
just
was so interesting for
character
me, like, when
comedians.
you say this,
There were others who
what
were
I
just,
choose, like,
as you
how
said, there was no like this
it
idea
takes
of there's a
time
punchline. No,
for, you know, it
and it
takes
was so
something
interesting
different
for
to
me,
go,
like when you say this,
I like this,
what I
you
experience,
know?
like how
Like, this is
it
one
takes
thing that
time
I understand what you say
for
about
you
the
know
Wiki
it takes
Fest,
someone different
is
to
that
go.
they
Oh,
want to make a show,
this
basically.
I like this. You know,
It's content.
like this is one thing
So,
that I
but
understand
for
what
me,
you
it's
said
like,
about the wiki.
I want to watch something different.
That they want to make a show. This,
Yeah.
you know,
Sure.
it's content.
100%.
So like,
100%.
but for me, it was like I want to watch something different.
I think you should have you should make your own. I guess that's
100%.
really. I think that is the way, because we're writing our own show
Yeah,
right
yeah.
now, and also we were asked
Very nice
there is a
room.
club
Very nice, the whole room.
Powerhouse Moscow,
Yeah, yeah.
and we make their
Cool.
evenings of
Very
stand-up.
nice room.
Yeah.
The whole room.
It's really nice. I'm thrilled that they asked us.
Okay.
100%.
That's why I asked you to call me friend. I wanted to call you until I see you. Okay. So, and it's also something nice and something where I can do what I want and I can call comedians who don't have the typical setup and questions because I love that myself. And it's just kind of just a different.
Yeah.
There should be a different place
But here's the thing.
for comedians like that.
What I think.
I
like
guess
what you
that
said
PK
is
shows
they
are
should have a
not the
different place. I don't
place
think they should have a
for
different place.
but that kind of thing.
But here's the thing.
You
I
should
think,
have. Well,
what I
not
think,
only that. Like,
what you
for
said
example,
is
if I
they should have
invite,
a
like for
different place.
me,
I don't think they
if I
should
invite
have-
you to,
I should
like,
You
should
should
make
have-
show that
well,
I do, you
not
know,
only
the
that.
paid
Like,
gig or
for example,
yeah.
if I invite, like for
I
me,
don't look.
if I invite you to
I look at
like
uh,
a show
if
that
I
I
like
do,
the
you know,
person,
a
like
paid gig or whatever.
not only the jokes. Like
For
there,
me,
I have
I don't
dark,
look-
like people who
I
do
look
dark
at,
humor, people who do light humor.
If I like
who
the person, like
the usual people who don't do
not only the
usual.
jokes,
I
like
invite them
there,
because
I
find
have
it
like
funny.
dark, like people who do
You know?
dark humor,
Like I never
light
cared,
humor,
and I would
who
always
do,
tell them, I don't care if you
the
make
usual
people
people
laugh.
who
I
don't
care
do
that
it.
you're
I
performing.
invite because I think they are
You
funny.
get what I'm saying?
You
And
know?
now here's
Like
my.
I never cared, and I would always tell them, I don't care if you make people laugh. I care that you know perform, and I like you get what I'm saying. And now here's my thing, is that as a comedian, you should have the ability to make people laugh, in whatever environment you have.
Sure.
Yeah. You know, not of course not. Let's say 7 out of 10, because you sometimes you get people who are like, I don't want to laugh at you. I hate you, and I hate
Like
you.
kids.
Yeah.
Go away.
Yeah, like this is what I think. It's not like you say. I want to invite you to do this certain thing, you know, which is for me is like I wouldn't invite you to do a certain thing. I would invite everybody
Who is their thing?
to do their thing.
I don't think they have to, because it's a big show.
You mean I'm not talking about video like that? I understand.
Yeah.
Television, YouTube,
Yeah, it's not about even one person choosing something. It's a lot of people, a lot of interests, a lot of tastes
Yeah.
who should combine. Yeah, so working in that sphere helps me not feel robbed.
Yeah, okay.
And I want to repeat the thought that I guess that if we think that there should be a place where really funny comedians should be called, and you know, it's so hard to differ funny.
Yeah, 100%.
We are the three of us, me and my friends Kostya and Lisa, and for the first evening we held in Powerhouse, I called comedians.
You
by
had
myself.
many. I think you had like 70s or like even you filled the room if I'm not mistaken.
We had 90
so-
or 88.
Yes.
Yeah, so it was
Yeah,
it
yeah.
was crowded.
It was packed.
I was crazy.
Yeah.
I didn't expect that. We had 222 registrations on that evening.
Yeah.
Like 35% of people came, and there were also some guests who didn't check in. They just we pointed that they came, so we counted them afterwards. I called comedians by myself, but now as things we do, three of us, we have a spreadsheet with comedians, with monologues of comedians, and I put their comedians I like with their monologues, and then I tell Kostya and Lisa, come on guys, please watch them. They don't want to watch them, so I push it, and they put green or red, like
Okay.
and their tastes differ.
Yeah.
My taste is different to them, so and we have like not the similar, but our sense of humor is close. That's why we write. We
Again,
can write together.
I think it's very cool that you guys are making like something. Anybody who makes something, this is like so much.
Yeah, I think everyone should make. I don't like when people say PK, TNT, they are so bad. Come on, man, go out there and make a podcast. I don't
He's not like calling us out. No.
No, you do a lot. You do your own evenings. That's great.
So what about the difference? You said like different experience. Have you you performed a few times in English, but they're like locals, yeah. Like,
Do you feel, wait, actually, I
Yeah.
wanted to ask you this. Do you feel that there's a difference between performing in English and in Russian? Like, other than.
You know, I found an interesting difference, and it's not about performing; it's about writing in English. I don't. Well, I started writing a little in English. Well, I don't actually write. Actually, I come up with something. I usually walk to the subway, and it just roams in my head, and something comes up. And lately, after the last open mic I was in Steel, something to the jokes I was performing there started adding up. But when I was translating my material into English, I found that when you translate it to a different language, you find new places where you can put jokes.
Yes.
You don't even find jokes, you don't even come up with jokes, but you feel that there could be something.
Yes.
And it's different. And also you see that some, not even jokes, but places for jokes don't work, which work in Russian.
Yeah.
Now you see, it's not even about translating the words. It's about like feeling the tempo of the material. That's really fascinating to me, and that's why I like nowadays this summer performing in English more even than in Russian, because my head started working again. Because I'm looking for the places, I'm looking for the jokes. I have the state of mind that it helped me a lot through life when I was writing. That when I start reading and writing something, it starts to come to me, just unconsciously. So when I read a lot of poetry when I was like 17 years old and I was preparing for my exams.
You were in your goth days.
Yeah. No, I studied philology in university and I had to read a lot of poetry. And I occasionally wrote some poems. They are not good, but just my brain just gave me that because I read a lot. It's like a near artificial intelligence. You put a lot of something in there, and it gives you something more. And that's what my head started giving me. So it started giving me English jokes, not even jokes. It's like some phrases, some like little things to say and to be funny. So different writing, different feel of the tempo of jokes.
Yes.
English words are shorter than Russian. They sound different. There are different similarities of one word to another, which is funny, which you can work with. So in writing, there is a lot of difference. In performing, well, my English is not awesome, and some words I just don't feel really comfortable saying. They don't sound good.
This is funny because this is my field in Russian.
Yeah, I guess that's common.
Yeah.
Sure. It's not your language, and I'm not really good with R's. Actually, I'm not really good with. I don't remember now, but there are some words which sound. I have had a good English teachers throughout my life, and then I stopped using English for like 7-8 years, and now it's not that good, and I feel that Tatiana Moiseyevna would say, "Come on, Ignat." No, she was like, "What?" She did that. So it's harder because you can't say everything, and also in Russian I like to tell some text, as you say, not really loud. A little bit to my nose.
Yeah.
Like adding like, come on. And since my pronunciation is not awesome, it's kind of hard to do. I feel that I should like say all the words properly for people in the audience just to understand what I'm saying. So it's hard, but I really like it because it makes my mouth work, it makes my brain work. It's something new, so yes.
Actually, I wanted to ask you this because since you did poetry, do you ever realize how much poetic instruments you use in comedy?
I don't think. I think it's more of prose. Yeah, prose. Not poetry, but literature. I think stand-up uses a lot. It's like a reduced literature.
I really think because we use a lot of similes, we use a lot of metaphor, personification. It's like literally poetry without the rhymes. For me,
Sometimes even with the rhymes.
Yeah, sometimes. Yeah. I'm saying like for us, like rhyming is not the main point, but getting the laugh is. but we use to get this stuff. We use a lot of poetry tools.
Sure.
And
Yeah. I think that actually I talked about the tempo earlier. That's the one word I can say earlier. I think that tempo is really, really meaningful in stand-up. It's not about setup, punch, tag, act out. It's about how you give away the words, how you make it. And that's what I'm working on lately. How you make the pauses between the parts of setup. How it sounds. I think it all.
Actually, this is one thing. Like I also heard from, I believe it was Jimmy Carr. He said like your jokes has to fall in the 90 beats per minute category.
Maybe.
So this is like a good joke. This is why a lot of the comedians, the great comedians, are like maybe Bill Cosby. He really like jazz. No, it's he really like jazz, and this is.
I guess yes, stand up. Yes, yeah. It's. That's maybe because that's maybe why lots of comedians put jazz music in the intros of their concert, which I don't like intros to the stand-up. I don't quite understand what these intros are in, but there is a lot of jazz. Stuart Lee, Louis C.K. They just put it always intro with the jazz. Maybe that's because actually a good long joke sounds a little bit like jazz because it has something in it.
No, like comedy for me, like when you talk about tempo, it's more like a lot of trancing the audience. You make them follow your tempo to the point where they know this is where I'm gonna laugh. So whatever you're gonna say, you can finish a punch like table.
Don't just think that. Well, that's a good thought that you can make them do that. But the other thing that this is kind of looks a little bit like what that girl that Omar's performance was doing. Who was laughing as a robot. Who was given the program to laugh, and when you make them wait for the punchline, and when you give them that punchline, you pander to the audience a little. And the good move is not to give them punchline where they expect the punchline, and give it later.
This is why I love stand-up comedy, because we talked a little bit about like there are rules for stand-up. Like I said, like tag, follow up, blah blah. At the same time, you don't need to do that.
Yeah.
You know, like in our workshops, one thing I like tell people is like we can give you like, for example, brainstorm ideas, punchline, whatever, but you don't need to use it. You can get on stage, say whatever you want, and people might laugh. Like it's never set. You know, there's no like whatever rules you can put, these rules can be broken. One thing about the tempo and the trance is you translate, and it's much interesting what you said is when you break it. You know, the three, what's rule of three? The rule of three. There was a comedian.
I'm so tired of it.
There was a comedian who was telling I'm tired of the rule of three. I was like, yeah, you can do rule of 4, you can do rule of 5, you can do rule of 2.
But that's difficult to make a rule of 5. Make a rule of 2 is easy.
The one thing about like this, the rule of 5, is how much you build the tension. Like it takes like it will take you a lot. This is why people are rule of 3. It's you know, I'll stick to that. But God, you can do more. Even something which now we go to the idea that you're different. You know, you would
if you can do it.
Yes.
You're skilled.
And I think that this is my thinking on which I tell everybody, because when I was performing, I was trying every week. Oh, sorry, every mic, because we only had 2 mics at the beginning. We only had 2 mics.
And you have more mics than 2 now.
And now we have like 2
have a show
and page and kind of page shows. You know, like let's say special shows. And one of the mics was an open mic, and the other one was like a strict mic. If you're funny in the first one, you will get invited to the second. This is like how like English comedy began. Yeah. And one thing is what I was looking for. We only had 2, and I wasn't performing in Russia at the time. Is I realized every week I have to do something new. I have to deliver, for example, I have my 5 minutes. The next week I'm gonna do my 5 minutes with different intonations. You know, my idea is that, or there's once when it was in Ramadan, and my friend had an idea. He's like, listen, man, get on stage and give your back to the audience. Which we all know that you cannot do that. Like, it's a rule set, you cannot give your back to the audience. And it was like, you said, give your back to the audience. Make a joke about it. Of course, you have to acknowledge it. You know, make a joke about it. But it's Ramadan, I can look at you. You know, and get it back and see if your jokes work. Some worked, some didn't. But then again, if it's one performance, that's not a standard. So you have to try it 1, 2, 3 more times and see what changed. Is it the delivery? Is it, you know, why did the joke not work? Here comes my second thing. Like you said, like you record. What do you look for when recording?
I have a scheme of working with records. Before walking on stage, I write in my notebook the beats I'm going to perform, one word for beat. And after that, I listen to the tape and I make little notes. There is a plus for a joke which had a laugh, a good one, not a bad one. There is a plus minus for a joke which had something. There is a minus of this, and there is a plus and a circle around it for a joke which had a good laugh and applause. So, and throughout the notebook, I can see which ones are working and which ones are just fat in my. And the plus is not my goal, obviously. I'm going for the plus and the circle around it. So that is the thing I do with it.
And then, so let's say the joke is only a plus. You just go and edit
It's only applause, I guess. I guess only applause.
No,
yes.
no, only a plus. Only a plus.
Only applause. Well, I can keep it for some time, but I will think about improving it into the plus and the circle. And if it, maybe I will record it and put it into a reel. Maybe it will be in the between of the set. Maybe if I'm asked to make 20 minutes somewhere, I'll put it because it works. But in the 20-minute set, I will try to put plus and the circles. I don't know, maybe every 2 minutes. And in between them, there will be only pluses because I don't have a lot of. I have 7 plus and circles. As I told you.
What about if it only gets an applause? I have 2 questions. Why did it get an applause only? And is it okay if
I have an
plus?
answer. Yeah, I guess that jokes which get only applause is the joke where an audience feels pity on the comedian. You're a good guy. Come on. Yeah, you can do it. Yeah, man. So only circle is worse than a minus.
That's my problem is like same as you, but I do it in lines. So I put when I write, I put a line under what I think is gonna work. If it works, 2 lines, big laugh, 3 lines, and when I re-listen, so I listen to everything, and sometimes you guys notice maybe they laugh at points where you didn't.
Yeah,
And what I
that's
do,
why I record.
yes, I put a line under it, and I go, what's in this?
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah.
You know, there has to be something in this.
Yeah. Anyways, should we go to some news?
No, fuck the
I have a question for you guys actually. What do you think of your career goals in stand-up in Russia? What are you aiming for?
Come on.
I am aiming to. Actually, I don't.
Aiming to, not aiming for?
Well, I'm aiming for or aiming.
I don't know. That was a legit question.
No, I think it can be both. I'm aiming for or aiming towards to. I'm aiming. This is what I want to do. Actually, I don't think I can be a comedian in Russia. I think again, this is what I've been told.
Yeah.
No, this is what I've been told by a lot of comedians in here. Is my style doesn't really fit the Russian style for some reason. I don't know why. And that's why I really would like to move to New York someday in the future and become a comedian there. Because even if my style doesn't fit, let's say, the American style, There's always a market in America for weird
That, I am so against this thought. I am so fucking realistic. But well, we'll take what my aim for. And I was doing comedy. I realized I should put milestones on my point where I'm like, I reached this, okay, next. I reached this, okay, next. First was in English. Then my friend Ivan Habits, he was like, "What are you doing? Go from Russian." He was like, "Go from Russian. Why do I come in English? You know Russian? Go in Russian."
I mean, obviously, I have milestones right now for Russian comedy.
Yeah.
One of my milestones is to become a regular and like become get on those because we have a lot of group chats for what do you call them?
Paid.
Yeah, paid performers like experienced.
Yeah.
I'd like to get on those chat groups. Like,
No, my thing is why I'm very much against like when someone comes to you and tells you, this audience will not, you're not for Russian audience. My instant question, how the fuck do you know? You know, because I've seen you do a 10-minute set and make people crack themselves the fuck up in Russian. You know, so sorry, and I remember it was a room of 90 people. You know, and I was like, sorry, like he made 90 people laugh, literally 90 fucking people. You know, and he was doing really well. Not like they were warm or whatever. No, he's like awesome. So like these 90 people will be multiplied. And what I think is because when someone tells you your audience is not, your style of comedy is not Russian, what I think it also gives you like a setback, a minus in your head. That in your head it goes, oh, my jokes don't work in Russian, so maybe I shouldn't do them.
mm-hmm.
This is kind of you putting your own self down, your own comedic self down. This time. Well, for me,
Yeah.
you know? And because like these few comedians, like who I wrote with and everything, they told me, like, fuck that shit, perform, do whatever you want. And they laugh. But another thing is milestone. And the one thing is, I think when you perform in a different language, it opens your brain. More, not only more setups, experience. You know? You have much more experience. Stand-up is not measured by, for me, it's not measured by how many days I've been performing or how many months. Stand-up is measured by how many minutes I've been performing. You know? I get on stage 5 minutes. I am now 5 minutes more experienced than I was, you know, an hour ago. Plus, one thing is I noticed is the time. This is one thing I kind of dislike in performers. You take time. You take 2 hour time. Yeah, to get to the venue, to perform, maybe sit there, maybe leave. You are basically wasting 2 hours of your time. So how can I not waste those 2 hours? I have to gain something from those 2 hours. And this is my thought process of like performing, especially in Russia. Right now, for me, a very important thing I should do is I'm improving myself on how to host in Russia. This is very
I
important.
mean, you listen to what the hosts
The whole 100%. Even if I dislike what
I'm
they do,
doing the same right now.
So you're hosting tonight. You started hosting.
I'm hosting our own.
Yeah.
I'm the host. And the first one I didn't do any crowd work,
yeah.
and it was not good for the performance in first second. They had to deal with a quite cold audience. So now I'm looking at the what do hosts do, and I listen and I write something down.
Yeah. All we do.
Basically, I record them.
I'm a female.
Okay, I can do it.
What's the deal with periods?
Women and men, come on.
like something I noticed also in Russian like hosts, they do there's a record that they do. The rules.
Yeah.
Here are my jokes. One thing for me I don't like is when they say they quote jokes. Like the host when he says these comedians have written their jokes. You know what this happens for me? It's like you're revealing the magic.
Yeah. You know what I also don't like? When the host says, okay, now here will be some of my jokes. Like I think he should do it like slide
Yes,
from the rules to the joke.
100%.
I don't know, here's something I hate that hosts do, and for some reason, two hosts did it 2 weeks in a row for some reason. They say, oh, your next comedian, Omar, is very funny.
Yeah, that's
It's one of those, and I hated it. I remember last show we did, the host said, Omar, very funny, and you just we look at each other, Abed and I can see Abed laughing for some reason. I'm like, he knows I hate this shit.
Yeah, that's brilliant. I performed after talking to you in spring when you said that you only perform first. I started doing that
Yeah,
a lot.
like amazing.
Yeah, it's like it's not amazing. It's you get more. It's more useful
Yes.
when you as a comedian. And when you perform first, and the host says he's a really funny guy, oh man, you just dig through the dirt. I also wanted to. So you didn't say what is the goal?
Yeah, my goal, like the first, like the main goal is basically to make stand-up my life. My main source thing
In Russia.
no, I'm not gonna say.
You're
I'm
both planning on moving.
yeah, I'm going to go back to Georgia. Yeah, and then like I have some plans, so I need to fix my Russian performing. You know, like how again hosting everything because there's something which I like. This is always in my head. Everybody can be a comedian, but not everybody can be a host. Basically, you know, like the same as every comedian can be a host, not every host can be a comedian, but also a lot of comedians are only they're fixing like one thing, you know, comedy. I was like, I need to fix how I host because I now can host in Arabic, in English, and it'd be great to have the skill to host in Russian. It will open doors.
Well, if you're moving from Russia, which those hosting in Belarus,
That's my first destination. I'm going there. Lukashenko, get ready, man. You're the funniest guy in the world. I'm coming, man. You know?
For some reason, Abed's going to be the president of Belarus.
Oh, man.
that's weird, but we'll get used to it.
Oh,
Yeah.
definitely.
Man, have you seen his avatar on Telegram for the last 2 years? It was just a potato, man. So,
There is a comedian, Rahat Kadybekov, and he has a potato with his face. That's it. Okay, so you're both planning to.
Well, for me, I have to.
yeah.
You know? So that's just like one thing. Like when I realize that's it, I'm gonna move. This is it. I was like, okay, now I should fixate on improving my skill in at least stage presence, hosting. You know, I have my bits for comedy, and I also have my bits for hosting. But one thing about hosting, especially like when you talk about hosting, like you said, you didn't do crowd work. Do you think it's needed to do crowd work as a host?
I don't like crowd work.
Love you.
I hate that question about where do you work because I fucking don't care where any one of you work, and I'm not invested emotionally as an audience member to know where do my fellow audience member work. I don't give a shit about their
Can I
work.
tell you something? How you can? This is why I also like comedy. Is you can like
Okay.
I don't know how like
Escape it.
Get around.
Yeah.
Is when you ask them where they work, whatever they say they work, you say your version. You know?
Before they say it,
Even before, after, nobody can like you say, oh, you work in IT, and they go, what? It's like, for me, you work there, and do your job.
and you make like 2 hours of joke about IT.
Basically, you know.
Well, I think that crowd work is useful to, as I see it, to get people to laugh, because I think that crowd work, it feels like magic for the audience. It's a little, as you said, you break the magic when you say they wrote the joke. I guess the crowd work for the audience is the most of the magic of the stand-up. And it makes them feel special and unique and
I used to think that until I watched, like I was watching on YouTube American comedians perform, and something I noticed, they don't, that some do crowd work and some don't. And I was just looking at the people who don't, and I realized
You watch hosts or
hosts, especially professional comedians. You know, this is one thing. There's something called the Gotham stand-up something. They get like a known famous comedian like this guy Titus. He has like 9 specials, 1 hour and a half each special, all of this. But he also hosts, and when he hosted, he didn't do crowd work, he didn't do anything. He just got on stage, did his bits, and then introduced comedians. Even Bill Burr, I don't know if he was hosting.
I never watched him host. He's my one of 2 favorite comedians.
Yeah, but Bill Burr, to be honest, I cannot put what he did when he was hosting because that audience came to watch Bill Burr. And I noticed you don't need like crowd work. And when in English, when you're performing in English, to host, the guys will tell you, you have to do crowd work. You have to do crowd. And I watched in Russian, there was one host who didn't do crowd work. And that's when it was, this is interesting.
And he did bits.
He did bits.
So he did the rules.
He got on stage, he started welcomed everybody, everything, and then through telling them this is a stand-up comedy show, he went through his bits, just did bits and rules, and in the rules did bits, very quick, 10 minutes, that's it. You guys are ready, comedian. And between the comedians, maybe he needed to do some, crowd work was one audience member. But I think one of the reasons is what he did that is I think his headliner, I forgot his name, they had a stand-up club called Stand-Up House. I forgot the name of Ruslan something. He's now in Kazakhstan or whatever. And that guy, he's a headliner. He was the headlining the whole show, and he did all the crowd.
Yeah, I performed there. Yeah, he's a host. He's a crowd worker.
And because I think he was headlining, he made sure first he came very late so that he didn't know who was in the audience, which Andrew Schultz does. He didn't know who was in the audience. That's one thing. And the second thing is
why is it good?
It's good so that you come on a fresh plate for him, but of course his experience. So that helped him a lot. And so he didn't know, and he never asked what do you work at or whatever. Not never. He asked, not usual. He would go through his bits, through the audience, instantly, did your father do something? And that would be his thing, and he continued it.
I actually saw the opposite. When I was doing the wrong show at Stand Up Brothers last week, the guy, the opener, he's the owner of this club, and I think all that he can do is crowd work. And
it's very funny.
Because he is very funny. And then again, it's crowd work, so it's also very easy. Yeah,
it's not very easy.
I don't.
This is it's not very easy. It's easy to. They will laugh again. They will make themselves laugh, but I think it's easy for them to do the ha ha ha. But the big laugh, the laugh that you generate, that's the not easy one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The only problem with this guy, which I didn't like, is his questions didn't change.
Yeah.
Which is I do the same problem. I'm still new to hosting, and I'm trying to learn how to do crowd work. I always ask people, what do you do? What do you do? Sometimes I change it up where I ask them something weird.
Yeah.
What's the weirdest thing you saw on the metro? This is the jokes these are the questions that I ask me.
Yeah. Well, you
ask them what you see on the metro.
This is one question I ask because I have a bit about the metro. And for me, I feel whatever they say, even if I can't make a funny comment about it, I'll just go to my joke about the metro.
So your questions are linked to the jokes.
Sometimes, yeah.
Don't you tell I saw a host in one of the clubs, and his question was, "What interesting hell happened to you lately?"
And people go,
And yeah, they don't have the answer.
they can't think of it on the spot. It takes them some time.
Don't you think that asking it's called open questions, which
Open-ended question.
yeah. So when asking that to the audience, you make them like drown in their thoughts.
Yeah.
You have a beat, so you will work it out. But the answer,
You know
they are
what?
not ready.
But actually, most of the time, especially the joke about when I asked them like the weirdest thing about the you saw in the metro, still they always give me a quick reply. I saw a homeless guy take a shit. I saw blah blah blah. I mean,
Sorry, it was one.
Yeah. The metro has a lot of weird shit. That's why I feel like
Yeah, almost everyone can relate to it. Like you know, my friend of mine saw a homeless guy in the metro who stood on the sitting thing, who pulled off his pants and shat in his hand and started throwing away.
That's a
Shit
form
on
of
people.
protest.
I don't know, that's a form of art, I guess.
this metro wagon is in the Louvre.
They are sealed with that guy in it. He's repeat. I've been yesterday on one of stand-up projects auditions for it yesterday. And however, I think that I was okay, and I might get into that project because my material was relatable to the producers. It was close to the thing. However, I felt like I ate some shit, as I usually feel after such a performances. I didn't feel good, and I thought that. Well, I had 4 auditions this month or 2 months. 4 projects. Last one was yesterday. And I felt that, well, it sure is because I didn't get into that project. But still, don't you feel that these auditions, which can be thought of as milestones, as you say, they kind of kill the will to do stand-up? Because
So funny.
neither me, neither you started doing it because you thought, oh man, I gotta get into that business, I gotta become a good host, I gotta get to the proof. No, I guess, well, I can speak for myself, and I guess I can speak for you. You started because you watched some guy on stage and you said, man, that's great to do that, I want to be that, I want to do that. And that is because, that is why we do it, because we like performing, we like that feel, we like to play with it. Not we don't like the milestones, and the milestones kind of kill the vibe.
Now here's.
No, I mean, well, for me, it's not reaching the milestone that kills the vibe. So, like,
So yeah, so you don't reach the milestone, and you feel like you gotta quit. I guess.
no, I mean, yeah, I only felt I wanted to quit one time. And it's when I lost. I thought I did great, and I deserved to lose this. It was this competition. English champion of Moscow, some English comedy Moscow champion was just like, and I really did an amazing set. Everybody was laughing, and I lost, and then that same day I was in the I'm like, I need to quit. And then like some story happened. I was watching a guy. I think I said this on the podcast. So I was watching Dave Chappelle. It came on my YouTube. I was watching Dave Chappelle video. A guy comes up to me, taps me on the shoulder, and goes, "I really like that you watch Dave Chappelle. Not a lot of Russians know who that is." I'm like, "Yeah." I told him I do comedy, and he goes, "Oh, really? Come to I opened my comedy." Club in St. Petersburg, text me, and I'm gonna get you a spot. I'm like, fuck, it's a sign from God. And then next week I go because I was I was gonna go support my friend. I go to this comedy championship, and there was supposed to be a guy, like while they're counting the votes, there's supposed to be a guy warming up the crowd. warming them up after they're already hot. But the guy went to take a shit, and then my friend, my Stefana, shout out. The host was like, "Who's gonna warm you up? Who's gonna warm you up?" My friend goes, "Omar's here." And the host goes, "Do you wanna hear the comedian you guys kicked out in the first round?" And I felt like he was doing this like shit on me. But the crowd goes yes, and I go there, I did new material, and I fucking killed it. I'm like, fuck you guys. I am the comedy champion.
Well, one thing about these milestones, because I noticed a lot in Russian comedians. One of them, like last year, of the last PK Fest, the first one, she wanted to get on the PK Fest so bad. When she didn't pass like the audition, she felt so bad. Like she felt really, really bad. And I was sad for that because she's a very good girl. Like insane. She performs almost every day. She writes every day. Funny each time I invite her like to English or like she performs in many languages, you know, and she fucking destroys. And she didn't get there, and that made her feel bad. And at that time, I was like, why are you getting on? Why do you make this make you feel bad? Yeah, they didn't, how do you call it, pick you. But they're idiots. You know?
But well, what is the milestone for her if not becoming?
Now here's the thing. It's why are you getting on? For me, when I did the BK, I had one thought in my head. I wanted to see, you know, what the whole process is, how it is. If I pass, I pass. I don't take it too much to heart. My idea is that even if you don't reach your milestone now, don't worry, you will get there. At one point in my life, I remember this in English. I wasn't getting invited to paid shows. I felt like, fucking hell, man, I'm getting wrong. I was like hardworking, everything. I did like so much shit, and I wasn't getting there, and I felt bad. Like I had a milestone, I should get paid regularly, and I didn't reach that for like 3 months, and I felt so bad. Then my friend Ivan, who I started with him performing in Russian, you know, and we were doing very well. That feeling of bad is like, oh, yeah, you will get this bad feeling, but if the first milestone you don't get it, that milestone, don't worry, you will get this later. You know, but work to get it later. Don't sit and expect it to come to you. Basically. A lot of, I think, not a lot of, some performers I know, they're sitting there and waiting. For me, like I am a comedian, but I also like you could say I'm also a promoter. Like, I have shows which I invite comedians to. And a lot of people come to me like, why aren't you inviting me? You're not funny. Well, it's not that you're not. You know what I tell them? Basically, what I tell them is like, send me your video, send me your audio. I want to listen. I want to listen to you perform. I do it for one of the reasons is, as I said, if I see a performer on stage not recording themselves, you're not serious about sports. You know, when they send me their recordings, for me, that is not only like one step in the door. That's you're almost jumping over the doorstep because it tells me a lot about. So, and when I find that oh, they have something, I said please come to the show. You know, and this is one thing about us. You say when you don't get to the milestone, you feel bad. Actually, feeling bad is a part of it.
I mean, also, if you feel bad, again, it depends on who you are, but if you feel bad, sometimes it's motivation for you to write more.
My first motivation was getting kicked off stage. That's when I knew, wow, I am shit.
You were kicked from stage
3 times. Yeah. And
were you throw the bottle?
I was, how can I was threatened to get the shit taken out of me.
From the audience while you were
From
staying
the
on stage?
audience, yes. And
What was the bit?
The bit was about men and women. And I was bad. It was bad. There was nothing in it. When I listen to it, it's not. I don't cringe. I just laugh at myself, you know. And I go, oh fuck! This one would have been funny if I did this. If I did the switch. The first time, yeah. And woman booed me off stage.
Became the same beat about women?
No, this is the first bit. This is like a guy wanted to beat the shit out of me, and women were booing me off stage, and I was answering them. And what the problem is, there were comedians who were sitting in the front row. Who were just laughing, and I thought they were laughing at this. They were just laughing at me being shit. Comedian. You know? And the second
Oh
time,
man, I left a lot on DK test while watching, and it's so cringe that it's actually good.
yeah, and I think it's, as Omar said, it is a motivation. I think comedy, like Dave Chappelle, like once said, like, listen, if Louis C.K.'s dick is what made you like, I'm paraphrasing, what made you quit comedy, you're not cut out for comedy. It's a natural selection, you know. But if you're supposed to feel that, it is. The comedian Sarah Milligan,
Yeah.
amazing. She on podcast, she said after a set,
She moved from Moscow, right?
I don't know. I don't know about this. I know her husband is Gary. I think I'm not sure if they're still married. Gary the lady. Amazing one-liner. If you can watch, if you have like time, check him out. Amazing one-liner. So what she said is, when you do a bad set, when you feel anything bad or wrong, feel bad. Okay, fuck it, feel bad until 11 a.m. the next morning.
Yeah, I read that.
Yeah.
That's what I did exactly after the DK test. Yeah.
Feel bad. It's fine. Well, the moment you test it, okay, now to fix it. So, you know.
I have another question for you.
Yeah.
You mentioned that you sometimes say tell the comedian that he's bad,
Yeah.
which you don't do.
100% I don't do.
What? I don't know how to phrase it. I mean, some comedians don't meet
Their ego is too much.
The standard.
No, I mean my own standards of fun.
Yeah.
Like lots of open mic comedians. Not what I think. Not what I like. I don't
Yes.
like to watch it. I don't like to listen to their jokes. Do you think it's? Do you have a friends with bad stand-up comedians who you would perform it with?
Yeah.
Doesn't it interfere in you with your feeling to the person that he's a shitty comedian, but he's a good guy? So why not?
So should I tell them, like, you mean I should tell them that they should do comedy, for example?
Maybe that their comedy is bad.
Yeah.
Or maybe it's not about telling to quit comedy. It's not about telling that he's bad. It's like you can't be sincere with the person totally, because every once in a while you will speak about stand-up, and if you think he or she is bad, you won't be I won't be quite able. I am not quite able to like discuss comedy in a way that is true
With
to
them.
to me. With them, yeah, because I think that they don't get it. So, and I can tell them that I think that guy is good, that guy is good, you are bad. And
Well, one thing before, like, is that I tell them that they're bad. One thing which we learned, we all started before, is that when a comedian comes in, how was my set?
yeah,
I always say, did you record yourself? Yes, no, listen to your recording. The audience is your beat, like, is your measurement. You know, is your benchmark. Judge, sorry, judge.
Yeah.
Bench was
everything.
Yeah.
It's also a benchmark with
Yeah.
the laugh of the audience.
Yeah, and this is something like about, this was a long time ago, I was discussing this with guys who used to run the English comedy here. We were talking about like comedians, and I told them before, like, you don't judge the comedian's jokes. For me, I judge the laughter at the comedian. If he or she are getting laughs, who am I to like say, yeah, great with getting your laughs, everything. Are you like, if you're getting laughs, everything, please, I would love to invite you. You know, I don't let it interfere. And when we're discussing comedy, and I hear their takes, that you want to bash your head to a fucking wall. You know, it's basically what I do is I bash my head to a metaphorical wall. You know, I go, let them talk, let them talk. They're talking, for me, it's not gonna hurt me. If someone listens to them, another comedian listens to them, good luck. Comedy is experience. Comedy is you get on stage and you see. I'm not we talk comedy. Yeah? If we're talking comedy, I listen to their takes. I'll give my takes. I like if a lot of the time they don't have anything good to say. Don't add, but maybe they might add something that this is interesting. But usually you don't, so it doesn't interfere with for me. Because I just
But you don't tell them.
I don't tell them that they're bad comedians. I let the audience know that they're bad. And this is why, like, sometimes we wanted to put 3 minutes rule. Like, if you're funny in 3 minutes, you have to continue. If you're not funny in 3 minutes, you have to come on the stage.
But it didn't.
But we didn't because there's Matthew, I don't know, a French comedian. He always was telling me, let's do it, let's do it. I told him, you know what my problem is? And English and Russian. And Omar knows this. We don't have that many comedians. That's one thing. The other thing, why are people doing fun? This is a very important reason. You know, a lot of comedians they just do comedy because yay, I can jerk off to my voice when I'm on stage. You know?
Actually, just a quick thing, because I know Abed, I know you were friends with a comedian or whatever, you know, and you're really good close friends with him. You never told him that you're bad, you always told him you should work more.
Yeah.
He even tells me this sometimes, like, still, like, hey, like, work on this, blah, 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 like I remember one time I was hosting. I did a terrible job. Remember when you said I didn't do crowd work and comedians didn't like it? I didn't do hosting. And Abed goes on stage, shits on me for his first.
Your follow-up joke was very good.
Yeah. He shits on me for the first 5 minutes, and I'm like,
no, not 5 minutes.
It was 1 minute.
Yeah.
I was like, and then as soon as he stopped shitting on me, I was like, let's start the timer.
No, it's for this like between me and Omar I want Omar to host because again in English it's a special we have kind of a special situation. Yeah, we don't have that many experienced hosts. A lot of our hosts travel whatever, so at one point we're going to end up with 0 hosts. So you have to train a host, and this is where my love for staff. And I put myself in that situation. When I went my first when I wanted to host, the guy who told me work on your competition. You know, before and I worked and I remember my first time. Holy shit! I'm thin because of how much I sweat that day. You know, but I tried my best. And what I dislike is when someone has that stage time and they don't do their best.
Even the comedians or the host?
The performer host what?
They don't do
their best.
And you hate it.
I really don't like it. I really don't like. You know
you
why?
don't let them do the material.
No, by his best, he doesn't mean.
Yeah, that's not about material.
That's material. He's like, he's like, just like, nonchalant about it.
Not even nonchalant. Like, yeah, nonchalant. I'll give you an example. There's one comedian, killer, fucking, like, he destroys. I saw him perform in Russian and in English act on a dead audience, and he brought it back to life. You know? Amazing. His bits, everything. He does 15 minutes on a Friday. And I'm not joking how much I am sad at that day because I did not record his set. Because his set would put him anywhere. Of how good. All he had to do was like, yes, just the laughter. Literally every, I could say 15 seconds, he had a big laugh. All his jokes were landing, everything was amazing, you know? And he was after, I think, I was hosting. First comedian won, I got them back. Second comedian won, I got them back. But not to the level of, you know. And he got on stage and he just rips them and you ask him. They're just laugh. Friday. Saturday, gets on stand-up score, does the same material. And bombs. I don't mean bombs. I mean, wow. Like after it, you should go.
But that's a stand-up score.
But that's the thing. And what he came to me after, he was sad. Don't be sad. He was sad because he thought he let me down. I was like, don't be sad. No, you did your best. Fucking amazing. I don't ask anything more of you. You know, I know you have a day when you were amazing, you have a day when you have a shit day. Yeah. I cannot. But because he did his best. Now I take another comedian who's highly experienced, and in his, I think, second minute, he just said, meh, meh, and he stopped performing. He was just, meh, you know. And after it, I asked him, how was your performance? And that's when how do you think that he was at that? He said, no, I think I did okay. And I was like, that's what you're saying? Yes? Okay.
That's hard.
Yes.
Always
And
being
comedy is
to
not
the
easy.
top.
And now comedy is not easy. You know? But that's my thing. Like, when he said okay, it's like, that's your aim. Every time I performed, I was like, I want to be the best. You know, I want to be the best. I want to test my material. I want to like make the most of my time. You know? And this is for me the difference. There is one performer who gets on stage, same story, same everything. Yeah, you know yourself.
One performer.
Just let's keep it at one performer. Shut up. You know?
What is
I spoke to him
performers?
lately and I said, maybe you should try a new story. But I was very gentle with that.
He did actually. He did try to do so. Yeah. He started from backwards to front. He flipped.
He wrote Andrei, how is it? He wrote a post on social media that was kind of uplifting, positive post that while other comedians try new things, always like in search, he's like a samurai performing and perfecting one hit over and over again.
But here's the problem that he doesn't have anything to it.
He's like a samurai. Instead of cutting the bamboo, he's beating it with a stick. That's the only problem.
Yeah, with a sword that has no sword.
However, he was called to perform in stand-up club Truth #1, and he was called again.
Yeah.
Now, here's my thing about it. I see him get on stage, try to get on stage every time, and I see like he's like he wants to be better, but he's still like it's a process, you know, until he figures that. So again, I go back to the idea like I see he's actually trying to do his best, whatever his best means for him, he's trying to do his best, and this I respect a lot. You know? And then you get, as I said, a comedian who goes after the first minute. I was like, okay, that's it. I know you don't want to do your best. You're like, and this is for me what kind of like differs. Very, very important for me. Like respect the craft, basically. You know? But it's fun. Like one thing we talked about is again when years ago when I was performing in English, it was much harder than getting a spot now, because like
Where was it?
this was so comedy in English. Let's say it was about
Moscow.
10, this is 10 years ago. I started performing 8 years ago. To get on a paid show, you had to have like a really solid set, really solid set. No bullshit, no nothing. One guy, Ivan, when he invites someone, he just looks like better fucking shit.
Yeah, nowadays it's I'm I don't know, hosting, making a spreadsheet of stand-up organizations club throughout Russia and some other countries. There is no city which has so many open mics. I guess London, New York, sure they can't compare, but comparing to every city of Russia or close foreign countries, it's like 5, 6 open mics in the city. It's a lot. In Moscow, it's like 20.
Yeah. You can in Russia. I think like you can perform 10 times a week, even like 15 times a week. I don't want to say, let's say 10 times a week, easy.
Yeah. I mean, especially if you know the people.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
If you're okay, if you know the people.
I mean, this is one thing actually I don't like about the Russian comedy scene is because you always say, like you're saying, back in the days you need to have a solid 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Now it's just you need a friend.
Yeah.
To bring to
Exactly, which I
But these are open mics.
yeah, if you aim, you don't aim to be an open mic performer.
And no one aims.
This is very good. There's also like you have to put the difference. Am I an open micer or am I a comedian?
I'm saying nobody aims, but okay, let's say I want to become a comedian. For me to become a comedian, I need to go to the open micer stage.
Yeah.
For me to become an open micer, I need a friend. No one wants to.
You do
The 200 rubles.
200 rubles.
Now I go.
But you know,
I'll charge 50.
No, I tried 150 pay down.
but
I tried 300s, a lot of them, and I decided that 200s is just the right amount to bring, because they pay a little bit to answer to your notes, and 200 is a little bit more than they pay. So it's pure economy.
it's like you read what's his name? The Economist. I don't know if you know about The Economist.
Well, I'm experiencing
Yeah.
economy. I'm not writing.
So funny.
So yeah, so you have to have 200. About performing on open mics, my fellow comedian once said that every 2 years, people on open mics in Moscow change. It's like bikers every year. You know, they
Really?
not all of them, but there is always a portion of people who come to comedy and they are long for 2 years.
And
then they quit.
And then they quit.
okay.
Yeah, so it's a rotation. I rarely see people. Well, since I started performing 3 years ago, I could perform once a month. So it was. Yeah, it's just. Well, I thought I was a comedian. I thought it was nice for me to.
on Instagram he changed his name. So it's not CK.
come in, and I had a photo of me saying with my
I'm describing my page right now.
So, and I rarely meet people from 3 years ago who performed back then. And they usually a little bit higher than me now in stand-up. But most of the people I see on open mic, they are new. And I guess, and I don't see most of the people who I saw back then. They are gone from stand-up. They just actually myself. I almost quit in 2022, and I thought that stand-up is not what might help us get through life. So I guess, and I think that lots of stand-up comedians they moved to Tbilisi or Yerevan.
Yeah.
Some of them are performing right now there, but most of them, I guess, from that time, 2021, when I performed. They just go. I just see them. I perform a lot. Talk to the people. Most of them just.
Why do you think they quit?
I think you said it before. I think because they want to jerk off to the sound of their own voice, and also they are. I guess it was. I guess stand-up right now is not as popular as it was like 3-5 years ago in Moscow. Not popular in the means of the amount of people coming to the shows, but popular in the means that it's a cool thing to do. I guess it was a cool thing to do earlier. Now it's it's in. I'm riding bicycles, okay? And in like 2012, when I was much younger, for a couple of years, it was like the coolest thing to do. Being a Moscow dude, riding a fixed gear bicycle, yeah. All the girls were like, "Oh my god, you have strong legs." And after that, like it just faded away. Then I don't know what was fashion, some stuff, longboards, anything else. But then, like a couple of years ago, it became a little bit for some short period of time cool again. And now it's not. you don't see a lot of them. There was a time when you could see like hundreds of cyclists in Moscow on that cool bikes, fixed gear cool bikes.
2016.
Yeah, I guess even before that. Now you don't see them. And I guess stand-up was a cool thing to do, or like 2020, maybe 2019, when stand-up club #1, stand-up store, it was huge. The media, you can see it by just reading Russian media. The media were writing about stand-up just as a context. It was not they didn't need anything to happen to write about stand-up. They just wrote about stand-up. Stand-up comedians own the books. Stand-up comedians own the movies. Stand-up comedians were newsmakers. Now it's not like that. I'm trying to kind of bring it back as I'm writing about stand-up for some online media, and they pay for my texts because they think that it's becoming again a little bit exotic for them because other medias are not writing. That's why they say, okay, cool, we'll put it. Here is your money, Ignat. But I think that those people came to stand up because they thought it was good, and now it's not as cool anymore.
I have a thing. I remember you filmed. It was like a short film about comedy or something.
No.
No, there is you posted something about the people who come to
Yeah,
watch
it's a short film documentary, 90 minutes long, which was financed by the Ministry of Culture of Russian Federation. It's like, I guess 5, 6, maybe 7 years ago. It was a movie about two stand-up comedians. One of them is now performing regularly in stand-up cafe, as far as I'm concerned. And the other one, no, she's alive, but she, I guess, maybe, in my opinion, I'm not sure about that, but I guess.
Keep on, disclaimers. The views presented by Ignat.
In my humble opinion, she has some problems with her head. And the movie is basically about her being that different.
Yeah.
And I think she's crazy. Because I wrote to her and I said, we are holding we're going to show the movie, do you want to come? And she wrote me some crazy stuff.
But why were you playing this movie? Like, did you have a part in filming?
No, I didn't have a part. I just came across the title, and I understood that you can find the movie on the internet. It was ripped; they didn't upload it because they show it. As producers of the film decided that it's called the destiny of the movie, confirmed, and the destiny of the movie to be a festival film. So they show it only on the festival, and I wanted to watch it because I like stuff about stand-up, and I was interested in that comedian who, in my opinion, is kind of, in my humble opinion, crazy. And the way to watch it actually was to write to the producers and to tell them that I want to hold a short movie. No, not a pamphlet. And they said, okay, that is 30,000 rubles. I said, I don't have that money, and actually, I don't think that...
I don't think the ministry has that money.
No, they said that if you will get anything for tickets or donations, okay, you can do it, but you should pay at a fixed price of 600,000. I said, I don't think that anyone will pay for that. So they said, okay, well, if you want to do it one time, okay, just do it. So I did it basically to watch the movie because I was interested.
Do you have the movie on you? Like, can you send it to other people now?
I cannot do it legally because I was because of my negotiations with the producers, and I don't want to not get into trouble. Nothing will happen, but well, they tried to get their money. They producers. Sometimes in Moscow this movie is shown, but I watched it and frankly I didn't quite like it. Because in my humble opinion,
It was crazy.
Let's do the whole thing.
yeah. Well, the director of the movie, she's a comedian also. She already unfollowed me on all social networks after I gave a little thoughts about the movie in my Telegram channel. Well, I think that when you make a documentary, you should make it as a feature film. You should have the screenplay which leads the characters and the viewer from one place to another. And if you do that in a documentary, it's a good documentary. And if you just film whatever happens to your characters and then you edit it and did something and just post out for people to watch, don't do, well, in my humble opinion, that is not how documentaries should be made. So that is just a observation on how two comedians live, struggle, and you watch it from the beginning till the end, and you don't quite understand why the end is the end and the beginning is the beginning. You could put it vice versa, and it will be still sad pictures of just.
You watch all of this and you go, "This is my Monday morning."
Just every Russian.
Yeah. Maybe not because I'm still the free. They just struggle and they just sad, and they perform or they are not let to perform, and they eat and they go to their parents and they perform a little more, and then it's the end.
Yeah.
So you're like, okay, so I wasted a little bit of money. Maybe for people who are not comedians, maybe that would be good.
So, go to the news. We have a small segment about news. I know, you're getting a bit tired. Sorry.
Okay, let's do it.
Okay, never mind. You're 33 and you're getting that. 33 in Russia is the new 70.
I don't know, man. I guess they just don't do sports actually, and they eat bad. No, I feel okay.
Ah, okay.
I mean, I look at my peers, my classmates, and I think, oh man, you are a man now, and I'm just a dude.
So what we do is we read news and we try to see what's funny.
I see.
Maybe, So Canadian family receives wrong money after father died on Cuban vacation.
Comedian family?
No,
Just a family.
Canadian family.
Canadian.
Comedian family.
I thought that all the news should be relatable.
No.
A comedian family. Okay.
This is what it says. I don't know why they said, but they said they got the body of a Russian guy who's 20 years younger than their father. And I'm like, how do you know he's Russian?
Maybe he had a tattoos.
Well, he did have tattoos.
But you know that, I don't remember, Argentina, I guess, there is a politician who has Russian jail tattoos on his hand. It's something like "I will not bend to anyone but God." Something from Russian jail culture. But he's not Russian. He doesn't speak Russian.
He never went to prison.
He never went to prison.
He just wanted the 3 Russian boats in Argentina.
In Argentina, there are 3 people. Yeah, I think probably just flexing, like.
But do they like? Is it? They say I'm not gonna bet. Like, is it like a play on words? They're literally not gonna bet, so they don't get fucked. Or is
Maybe.
Yeah, you don't know, like one of the prison tattoos. Don't ask me how I know this. Is that 2 eyes above your ass?
Yeah, I know.
What does it mean?
It's your back.
Yes.
Well, there is.
And you know, so it's like, but that's the opposite. Like, you have 2 eyes above your ass, like, I see everything. Nobody touches this ass, you know?
maybe it's more pressure, like you're getting a blowjob.
Oh my god.
So with the hair of it.
About the family, I guess that it was a really weird moment when they all came to the hospital and they would show the wrong dude.
And we're like, hey, where's his head? I'm like,
But I think now just the Russian government has the body of this Canadian guy, and they're like, we're gonna give it to you. Just give us 2 prisoners, the guy
from the US.
Yeah.
political jokes. Here we go. I like this. Well, when I come across such news pieces, I like to think about the context. Like, what was the ride back home for the family? When they came there, were they silent? Were they happy that maybe our dad or whatever is?
Maybe the kids are looking at the mom. Is there a secret you want to tell us?
Yeah, she doesn't know how to answer. Or did they try to lighten a little bit the mood up? So okay, it's not that bad. We see our dead father. Yes, so maybe McDonald's.
Wait, isn't this Russian actor who was in Eastern Promises? You know, a movie all about Russian mafia. It's like that's the same thing.
It looks just the same. So maybe
they try to light it up. Oh, so maybe that is not there. Maybe
maybe they thought, oh man, we've seen our first Russian. You know, like we've never seen a Russian man. No,
Yeah.
it happened like that.
Only like Trudeau when Russians are invading us through the caskets. They go deep down.
the Russian guy is like a matryoshka. You have to open him up, and that's gonna be inside.
That's a good question. Why do you know he's Russian? He looks like Russian, you know? The jaw.
Maybe Ukrainian, but Russian.
Look at his thumb. It has 3 markings of bolting. You know, too many markings there. He's voted more than once.
It looks like he doesn't have like human rights.
I know there was like 10 maybe years ago, there was an American cyclist who decided to ride throughout the world on this cycle. And we were covering him going to Russia as I was working with Russian media company. And somewhere near Kursk, you know what's Gazelle? The car goes, a band, a Russian band. It's usually
Okay.
Yeah. And near Kursk, Gazelle killed him. He died in Kursk, and it was kind of a problem because we were covering his journey. He died in an accident in Kursk, near Kursk. And the problem...
You sent a Russian guy. You mailed him back to America for his family.
No, the problem is, it's not about him being hit. The problem is that his family didn't want his body. And that is when you start seeking why, in the first place, he decided to go around the world on a cycle. Because his family kinda a little bit didn't want to have a...
I love the thought that your girlfriend came back and said, Ignat, would you like to tell me about what's in the vegetable?
my friend.
It's the worst time to have a girlfriend, you know, like she's like, I had a terrible day with Stacy. Like, you don't want to hear about my child.
So maybe sometimes families, maybe they didn't want the Canadian dad.
No, they wanted the Canadian dad. They're still trying to get him back. But the Cuban...
What did they need him for?
To bury him. They already spent 20,000 Canadian dollars.
Get him.
To get him, to start the funeral service to everything.
This guy must be fucking rich. They have to prove that he's dead.
So some guy got $20,000 for the Canadian body and didn't give them the Canadian body. So it's a scheme.
And we thought we work.
So now it will be $30,000.
I imagine this guy like he has a whole fridge of bodies.
Yeah. He has a little bit of a business with himself.
Russians will live everywhere. Well, in this case.
Not literally.
So and here's another thing we do. It's like the Ask Reddit. They give like some questions. So I have one question I have is like, what's something socially acceptable, but that you secretly find really
Annoying.
I will go first because I hate it. The babies on the airplane, man. I hate it so much. It's like oh, like let him see grandma, but like he doesn't remember. He's not gonna remember grandma. You know what I mean? I hate it so much. I just like wait a bit for him to grow up,
Yeah, like wait until he's like 45.
And ruined his life.
Yeah.
There was a beat.
A lot of comedians talk about the babies on
His beat was that he will track that baby, and after his baby is like 30 years old and he has a business trip, he will book the seat next to him and he will go just
Yeah.
maybe you should do that. Maybe
I tried to have a bit about babies on the airplane, but it's different. On him getting breastfed, it's not working anyways. Yeah.
because women, I guess, don't like that a bit about
Yeah, breastfeeding. So now there's a bottle.
You know, I hate a lot of stuff.
And that's it.
Most of it. You know, relating to our conversation earlier, as you said that the brother there was a girl who laughed on anything, at anything. I was at a stand-up show like a week ago as an audience member. It was not exactly a stand-up show; it was a live podcast. Rule 34 about porn. Yeah, and next to the left of me sat a girl who laughed at everything they said, rasped, whispered, moved, anything they'll do, and she would just go, and the pattern of the laugh was always the same, but the loudness of it different. So at the jokes she would go and just some not really jokes she would but it repeated like 1.5 hour long, and I hated her so fucking much.
Now, Ignat in 30 years will have bankrupt town.
No, the interesting thing is that I know that girl, and she's a regular audience member in one of the clubs, and she basically helps the shows which suck there. That's a good audience member, but sitting next to the left, like after 30 minutes, I said like that, literally. I put a finger in my ear not to listen to the fucking...
And the other finger in her eye.
in mine, I just said like that. And it was a horrible experience because of her. But I understand that she really helps, and people in stand-up need that kind of people because your girl helped you, right?
Well, for me, what helped was when I shat on her for laughing a lot. Like, I remember, like, it would always get me a big laugh, me, like, roasting her, kind of, like, there's one where I said, like, I started with this joke where I said, like, I said the phrase, my mom, she starts laughing, and I said to her, what are you laughing at? You're not supposed to laugh here. I'm going to point to you where you should laugh. This gets a big laugh from the audience.
Because the audience is tired of her. That was kind of horrible experience. Another thing I hate the most is voice messages in messengers, but I bought Telegram Premium. Oh man, it has a artificial intelligence translator. You can read the text from it. I never listen to voice messages nowadays. I just tap the button and I get the text of it. It helps so much. It just made my life so better.
For me, it's about like this is not only the voice messages. It's when they send you like texts and it's like more than 3 lines. And you know what happens to me? This is something I think it's very bad in me. I read the first phrase. If it's not interesting, I don't read anything else. And it caused me so many problems that I'm not reading your wall of text, sorry.
There was a bit, there is a bit, one Russian comedian, I don't remember who exactly, he said that when he gets the little wall of text, he just puts a little smile. And if the wall of text is like that, he puts 2 little smiles. That's it.
It's the equivalent of typing 3, like typing, and then
it works.
But now I think my girlfriend secretly has discovered how to mess with me. She doesn't send wall of text, she sends texts one by one. You're gonna read this, motherfucker.
When I see a wall of text, I just put the Mexican guy. I know, it's funny. What's socially acceptable you find annoying?
Well, this idea of the whole texting. Well, the other thing is just like I like face-to-face meetings. You know, anything that's like you can tell me on text, let's do face-to-face.
Yeah.
This is like I don't want to do that.
I guess that's the new wisdom of our life, that it's not, well, it's convenient maybe to write a text, but it's actually a lot better. It's like a new luxury of meeting people. You know, another thing I thought of, it's a new thought, I guess it's new for many people. As a producer, I get a lot of messages from people, and for some reason, we think that if we wrote someone and he saw our message, he should reply immediately. And I understood that I'm not obliged to do that, and I don't hide when I was online. Because I, in my humble opinion, think that I'm not fucking obliged to answer you immediately as I saw it.
I am one of those people. Why aren't you replying to my text right now? There are
A lot of people think that. I just think that, well, I to myself decide that I'm not obliged. I can answer you tomorrow. Why should I answer you today?
It's annoying as I always like, answer me now! I have shit to do. I don't have anything to do. I have shit to do!
I'm sitting there waiting for your answer.
For me, it depends on what's the question. Like, hey, if I text you like, hey man, are you down to do the podcast tomorrow? At that time, it's already like, so
sure.
He's not calling you out, Ignat.
No, it's not you actually. It's another speed. No, I had him ready for a while, but I was fixing another comedian, and I was at work, and the whole time I worked, I get like my phone was like,
well, when it depends. When something on the schedule, something you should know before or immediately, sure. But when it's just, okay, did you read my screenplay? How is your life?
Can you bring tomatoes? No, I can't.
Remember the most annoying part is sometimes I text my friends like just randomly check out, and they're like, hey, how are you?
Wow, you're so nice.
Oh, actually no, it's hey, how are you? That's
Give me money.
Yeah, exactly.
Do you think that people should write hey, how are you before writing what they actually
I don't.
Man, this is a Russian thing. Nobody can. It's hi, Abed. I always get like when someone texts me, Abed, hi. They always like they have to say my name and then hello, hi, and then the green Russian. In Russian English, but this is in Russian. It's only in Russian, you know. They always have to start the text.
name?
Yeah, with my name. And you know what happens to me when I read my name? A text with my name, I instantly go, what the fuck happened? How much money do you need? And who should I call? We can bury the body, don't worry. You know, this is like I used to show the guys like the text from people, and like there was one which in the span of 1 month, I had about 27. Abed, hi, Abed, hi, Abed, hi. I was like, who the fuck are you texting? It's me.
That's interesting. Maybe I do that also.
Oh, it's not it's a thing I noticed in a lot of my texts. They have to say my name, and I'm telling you, like maybe it's a thing we'll say about the culture or whatever. But for me as an Arab, where I'm from, it freaks me out.
And they would say hi Abed.
My name is. There's no need. Like again, I'm writing to you.
So it's about the name. It's not
the name.
about
Yes. Yeah. Like I'm writing to you, Ignat. I'm not writing to Omar. I don't write to you like Omar. Hi. I'm like, wait, I'm not. Yeah. Or just hi. I get it's you.
Okay, I have an answer to that. Sometimes you need to find. It's like okay. I was searching for one project. I needed to find photos of people getting their diploma in the 90s.
Okay.
Very special thing to find, and absolutely unclear how to find it.
Yeah.
But just asking random people. So I wrote the message, and for people not to feel that it's just a message to nobody, I put it to the a place for a name, and I changed the name, and but for one of my friends, I forgot to put her name, so it was hello, comma, nothing, comma, and she answered me with the hello, comma, nothing, comma. So nowadays we speak only like that. We don't type each other's names. We say comma, nothing, comma.
But you see, like you wrote people who you don't know.
I know
this motherfucker for 5 years.
No, I know them, but I know them a little now. So it's just, maybe there's something in our culture when we say a name, it's small, personal, it's small.
Yes. Like I know it's just funny for me. Again, it's where I'm from. Whenever I read my name in a text, okay, how are we gonna solve the problem?
Going on.
You know? It's the equivalent of someone calling you at 4 a.m. in the morning. It's never about a good thing. It's gonna be
Wrap up, man.
Yeah.
Ignat, anything you would like to say before we finish? Who the fuck are you? Where can people that follow you, watch you, any?
My name is Ignat Shestakov. I don't know, you can Google it if you want. And I don't understand why you watch 3-hour-long podcasts with a random dude and then go on there. I gotta
They found you funny. Anyways, yeah.
Where can people find you?
I don't want to do it.
You can find them somewhere.
Somewhere. And if you
Go to profi.ru.
and search for my little ads about coming to stand.
No, see that?
That's what I think that it doesn't work like that actually. I don't think that you should put your name and your social media anywhere. I guess it's about content. In media, you should give the feeling that people just got some funny information and they're not obliged to do anything. And that content works better. So, not just me. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, thank you, Ignat, for coming.
This is Ignat, the guy who hates mainstream anything.
Yeah,
Not anything, but
my name was Omar.
And we are Indonesia. Hope you guys enjoy this for how long it is.
Can we say like and subscribe or also? It's
This is also too mainstream.
you do you.
it's your channel, your
I
podcast.
would like for you to say.
You should subscribe. I had really fun time doing this podcast. It was really useful for my comedy writing,
English.
thinking, improving on the English, and maybe it will be as fun as it was for me for you. So, and then there are some great comedians in this podcast, as far as I know. So subscribe to welcome.
Subscribe, like, see you.
Thank you so much, Ignat, for coming with us.
Thank you.
You know, hope we didn't take a lot of your time from cycling.
Took some from work, like, basically. I cycle in the morning and then I work. So today I just cycle and do this.
Do this. Thank you for saying this. Anyways, thank you so much. Omar, now I'm going to thank you guys for listening to us. We'll see you in the next episode.
Yeah. Bye.
Bye.